We're
They
on
were
my way.
both made when the company was in a bad spot financially,
I think,
right?
for those of you joining us now on the replay, hello. We'll get into proper introductions in a minute, but this is the pre-talk before we get into the actual subject. But do you think adversity in companies like BioWare drives them to say, okay, because at that stage BioWare didn't really know, in terms of making Dragon Age, whether they get to do another game.
Right.
So they went, screw it, let's just do what we want to do. Which, yeah, and we'll get into it in a second, but Dragon Age is quite derivative like that. It is quite, it doesn't stray too far from fantasy norms. But you can tell that that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to do their take on Tolkien, their take on, they're stepping away from the Forgotten Realms for once and not having to cow to Dungeons and Dragons. So do you think that's what it is? Like they just were facing the wall, sort of a thing?
It can. I mean, in a sort of properly aligned environment, of course, that is going to breed, interesting ideas. We don't have the budget, we don't have the bloat, we have all of these constraints, whatever they might be. We need to hit a home run here. Or we've just gotten burned so bad, and we have to reorient ourselves, and who knows what that means. Yeah, in those situations, the most interesting kinds of creativity are going to come out. Now, it's obviously not always the case. You can shoot for the fences or swing for the fences and miss and lose.
Happens.
But the problem is the video game every industry is so fucked. It's so bloated. It's so convoluted. The incentives are not what they should be, and there are so many layers of bureaucracy, abstraction, funding that it's this absolutely chaotic mess, in my opinion. Where in a better world, all of these studios would have had to have a come to Jesus moment with Bethesda and Morrowind, BioWare, Dragon Age Origins.
Isn't that capitalism? Isn't that the market? Because that's literally what they had to do with Dragon Age.
It should be that way.
We want a good game. Make a good fucking game and give it to us and we'll buy it. It's not hard. No.
It's for everything. Movies, comic books, whatever. Take your pick, your favorite major cultural thing. There's free money. There's infinity money lying on the table for a studio to just do the thing. You don't even have to do it particularly well or particularly artfully. That's not a great situation, but regardless, it's where we are. If you just did the thing sincerely, people will pay for that. People are desperate for something that is good, is recognizable as a resonant story, cultural artifact, whatever you want to call it. If you're making a Batman, but can you just make we all know who Batman is. We all know what he's about, what he does, where he is. The story has been codified, and there's no need to really even iterate to make a quality product if you just did the thing. We want a fantasy game. We want a sci-fi game. Some sort of RPG.
Yeah.
We know how to do that. It's just these people can't help themselves.
It's like there's no need to... They're tropes for a reason. Right?
Yes.
There's no
and tropes
need...
is kind of like a dirty word, but it's true.
Yeah, but I have issue with that when people say things like that, because it's like, okay, well, way to piss on your heritage. Like if you're writing a
right.
a sci-fi novel or a cyberpunk novel, let's say, you owe William Gibson a huge debt, and there's nothing wrong with looking back at Neuromancer and saying that's the shit, you know. And yeah, I need rain, and I need neon, and I need sexy girls, and I need mechs and all that sort of shit.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a reason why it works. Yes, he did it first, or was one of the first people to do it. Same with Tolkien. But there is a real power in making it yours, you know? And Drunken Deer says, who is this weekly yank on the live stream? This is Nick. All right, so this is Nick from Black Lodge Games, a good friend of the channel, as Black Lodge Games are. And
Indeed.
They write amazing content for tabletop role-playing games. I will whack it in the chat in a moment. One of their new games, that is Cult of Zahak, or mainly a module for any D100 system you've got that is under the sun.
Right.
You could use
We got it right here.
Yeah,
looking at it because we got a game
awesome.
coming up.
If you're joining us on YouTube, welcome. Put that up again, Nick. Mark that on the screen again.
Absolutely.
This is for the
recording. See, I got that.
Cult of Zahak. Yes. Get it now. If you want a decent module,
sexy ladies on the cover.
Some evil people doing evil things that have got to go. They've got to go. You've got to get them out of there. You're a barbarian, you're a knight, whatever you are. These evil people have to be purged. And if that's what you want from your setting right now, or your game, there are some really, really nasty people in this book.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
And
I would absolutely give it a go. I'll whack it in the description down below and give it a go. But we are here to talk about Dragon Age today. We're talking about
yes, sir.
The absolute whole thing from start to finish. We're going to be doing Dragon Age 1, 2, 3, and a bit of Veilguard because, again, I played some of Veilguard and I'm
sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, no. It's. I felt like if I wanted an opinion on it, I need to at least play the intro. I need to at least have a little look at it to see what it is. Apparently my mic's low again, so I'll turn that up. And I did, and I have an opinion, and that is the game is insulting and readily doesn't like old school Dragon Age at all. Thing is, though, I think it'd be good for us.
Doesn't like anything good.
No, I think it'd be really good for us to discuss the environment from which Dragon Age Origins came. BioWare at this stage are still, I want to say the words unmolested, because it's amusing to me. So let's say unmolested by EA. EA, I think they've taken over the company at this stage, or at least they're publishing it because they did publish Dragon Age Origins.
I believe, yes, they're bought by EA at this point.
So we have them being bought by EA.
Origins comes out in late 2009.
Right, so they have been bought.
If I remember correctly.
This is like the golden age of BioWare for a couple of reasons. Number one being that, okay, they've got the EA money, but not the oversight just yet. They've made Dragon Age Origins. They then go on to make Mass Effect 2, which is one of the greatest games ever made. Absolutely fantastic. This is those two games back to back. It was Dragon Age Origins and Mass Effect 2. That was the high watermark of BioWare, in my opinion. From here, we never really see them hit those heights again. They get close. Mass Effect 3 is great for the first 98%. They get close. I actually quite liked Inquisition. We'll get into that in a minute. Dragon Age 2, if you take it on its own merit, is a decent game. But Dragon Age Origins is one of those games that just came from, I don't want to say nowhere, because they planned this for a long time. It's kind of like a director's first movie or a band's first album. Like they've thought about this for a long time. And,
well, if I remember correctly, this comes out of BioWare's involvement with Neverwinter Nights. So I think I believe they wanted to do. I might be getting the details mixed up. I think they wanted to tell a different story in Neverwinter Nights than what they ultimately had to offer or had to write per Wizards of the Coast. And I think it was a rough experience for them. And so coming out of Neverwinter Night, obviously the gameplay of Dragon Age Origins is more reminiscent of those isometric
the older RPGs, Yeah.
Right. And
it's
so,
got a
okay,
lot of-
we're just going to do our own thing.
Yeah, it's got a lot of Baldur's Gate in there too.
Yeah.
1 and 2. Like, it's got a lot of DNA. It is essentially a love letter to those old RPGs. Little did we know BioWare would be departing this type
Yeah.
of RPG from here on in. So it literally was a final hurrah before they went on to do Dragon Age 2.
Right.
We're here to mainly talk about Origins. We will touch on the other games as reference points because I am really of the opinion that Dragon Age Origins is probably, if not the greatest fantasy role-playing game ever made for a PC to play on computer. It's one of them. I would put this up there personally above Morrowind and games like that, simply for the home feeling it gives me whenever I play it. I feel like, okay, this is the shit. This is where I belong. I love this. I love this kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you like dark fantasy in any way, shape, or form, play Dragon Age Origins for 30 seconds, and you will find 3 hours have gone by because you're just in it. You're there.
Yeah, man.
And it shows you don't need flashy gameplay. And I see this on YouTube all the time, and it really grinds my absolute gears. Is you will see YouTubers pick this apart because of its gameplay. The combat isn't that great. The visuals aren't that great. You'll see YouTubers like Mortismal Gaming who will play it years later and they'll start tearing it apart for, hey, the magic isn't that great, or the visuals aren't fantastic. It's like, dude, like, that's not...
People say the same thing about Morrowind. They do the same thing. And it's like, look, yes, indeed. This is a video game, and there is a gameplay mechanical aspect of that medium and that experience which you can't ignore. This is true. However, the fact of the matter is, most people have no fucking taste whatsoever, and it's like almost like a materialistic argument where they really do not know what to say other than trite platitudes and surface level opinions about the world, the themes, the way it makes you feel, the way it immerses you, but the gameplay mechanics, the RNG or lack thereof. This is also the case with tabletop games, which is what myself and my buddy Matt talk about a lot on Black Lodge Games. It's become almost a meme at this point, talking about dice mechanics, the gameplay of the what does the bell curve look like with regard to the probabilities of the dice results, or for a video game, the computer calculating success to miss ratios.
Yes.
Like, holy shit, dude. This is absolutely asinine.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, like, saying Dragon Age Origins isn't a good action RPG because you're used to playing other things is kind of like me sitting on my couch and going, "Why this is a really shitty Maserati 3300. Like, it doesn't go anywhere, doesn't do anything." It's like you're playing it for the wrong reasons. Dragon Age Origins is a dark fantasy epic book in which you are literally the main character. And its titular thing, the Origins, is something that no game has really tried since. That's something I've noticed. Mainly because it's really hard to do and it takes a lot of effort. Lo and behold, it's something cool. It takes a lot of effort. But you have your Dwarven Commoner, your Dwarven Prince, which is one of the probably the best one in my opinion. It's so funny.
Dwarven Noble, yeah.
Dwarven Noble.
I think there's 6 of them, right? 2 for every race.
So you've got your human, a noble, and your human mage, and you've got elf, Dalish, elf city. I think you can be an elven mage as well. And
I don't think you can be an elven mage, because the mage is always human, because they make the point of that with Dragon Age 2. Oh, his last name is Amnel, the same as Hawk
cool.
is.
Got you, yeah. Amel.
It's mage, which is human mage. I think it's human noble, dwarf noble, dwarf commoner, city elf, Dalish elf.
Yes. What was your favorite origin?
Mage. every time, baby.
Okay.
I have not played through them all. I've never played a castless dwarf because
That's the
I do
one I've
not
not-
want to play a home.
That's the one I haven't played.
Right, like, oh, can I
Yeah.
play? Can I roleplay as the homeless? Yeah.
Not in that society. You do not want to be the homeless in Orzammar, man.
Yeah.
That is not good.
Yeah.
Not a good start.
I've done human mage, human noble, dwarven noble. I think I've done Dalish Elf, although I find myself at a loss to remember.
Here's the
a
thing
lot of that.
with Dalish Elf. I want to get your take on this. I have
Yeah.
a strong aversion to playing characters that have self-righteousness built in. So
Have what?
self-righteousness built in.
Oh, self-righteousness,
I have
okay.
I have a huge issue with
Yeah.
playing characters who. So the Dalish Elf is very much, I'm the downtrodden human lord. How dare
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
It's-
yeah.
It's almost like you're set up too much to be the underdog. There's something to be said, in my opinion,
Yeah.
for just being the Giga Chad human noble who all the women
Of course.
want.
Yeah.
But the writing's so good in Origins that even as that character, I still felt like the underdog. I still felt like everyone's
Yeah.
against me. Everyone wants to kill me. And now and the game's like, yeah, and everyone knows who you are. You're Bryce Cousland's youngest son. Everyone's out to get you. You get it. Yeah, assassins targeting you all the time. All these different things make complete sense. You got to be really careful about. You get ambushed by really, really high level mobs if you go to Denerim too early. Because Al-How sees you and he sends his men after you, and you are
Yeah, you're walking into the lion's den.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're,
Which is great. Yeah.
I love it. I just think
It makes sense.
yeah, the mechanics, the writing's so good, and even like the way Morrigan talks to you, like she basically just falls into bed with you if you're a human noble. Like it doesn't, whereas everybody else it takes a little bit longer. But with Morrigan, it's just like she's game like immediately. Cause
Morgan is
she's
an interesting character, and,
She is.
we'll probably talk about the different characters.
Of
I have
course. Yes.
my thoughts about them all. I obviously went with Morgan for the first time.
Well,
God, I love my goth babes.
Big
But-
titty got babes. That is also
Mhm.
a staple that needs to come back. Bikinis,
Yeah.
bikinis, and big titty got babes need to be.
Yeah, again, free money.
Free. Yeah, take it. Have it all. Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
No. It's, I mean, the thing about the elves, you mentioned self-righteousness.
Mhm.
I don't particularly like elves myself as as like something to a character to play. I understand why they're there. They're definitely an archetype, right? They belong there. Origins is a very interesting, or the world of Origins is very interesting because, as you say, it's before the Great Awakening. It's before everything turned to shit.
Yeah.
We are heavily in that time period of like millennial sensibilities, and like millennial writing. We're
Just about. I mean, I
we're
think-
going up there. I would say this starts around 2007, 2008,
Yeah.
and it continues there. But things are still good. You're getting some juice out of that squeeze, and things aren't so polluted
I would.
that there's not a
I would go further. I'd say
Yeah.
people say BioWare's woke now. All right, yeah, it's woke now, but it's always been a progressive company. Like, it's never not been
of course
filled with people who have really progressive ideals. And me myself, like I would describe myself as a conservative, but I still have certain leanings of progressivism within me. There are certain things that I'm very liberal about. Whereas with BioWare at this stage, you can sense it in Dragon Age Origins if you look deep enough. Like the story of the elves, when I talk about self-righteousness, oh my god, it's there. You can tell they worked out some issues with those city elves and the Dalish elves. They were always meant to be. Let's do the origins one by one. We'll start with the elves, and then we'll move on.
Okay,
Just 'cause
yeah,
I
let's
think
do that.
I think the issue with the elves is that they're the stand-in for the BioWare writers. They are downtrodden. They are the oppressed.
They're the victimized
They're the victimized group.
class.
And I don't think it's
Definitely with the
any-
city elves.
Yes, I don't think
Yeah.
it's any coincidence that as the series goes on, it focuses more and more and more and more on the elves and their story, and basically relegate everybody else to the background. Just everybody else, just you're over there somewhere. The Mage Templar conflict is killed off right at the start of Inquisition. In Veilguard, the Elven gods come back, and it's all about the elves. And wouldn't you know it, the whole world is a plan by the elves all along. It's all been about them. It's not been about anybody else. Everyone else is just a background.
Well,
player,
that aspect is well, and we'll get to it. But that aspect of explaining things, explaining away the metaphysics, this is the main problem. But we'll build to that.
We'll come back. To
I
it.
mean the elves. This is true with both the Dalish and the City Elves, but it's actually a good. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a proficiently executed attempt to do an inversion, not an inversion, or flip the archetype on its head. Who are the elves? They're eternal. They're Tolkien elves. They know everything. They're aloof. They're ephemeral. Okay, well, something bad happened to them, and now they're in the ghetto or they're in gypsy wagons. That's sort of where they are.
Fault.
They're disenfranchised, and we're sort of turning the elven gimmick, if you want to call it that, on its head. What redeems that is there is an understanding and an appreciation for what the sort of thematic archetype of an elf actually is, and this is why they use it to start to explain everything. Elves are the longest-lived fantasy race. They have the strongest connection with the primordial time, ages of magic, all of that stuff. And so we're in Origins, you sort of still anchor the elves in that kind of a heritage, and you sort of ask the question, what would happen in light of a new race coming onto the scene, vis-a-vis humans? What would have to happen for us to get to this place, but make it logically and thematically consistent? So it kind of works. It's not merely at this stage where
I agree.
The City Elves are just,
But it works. It does work. And the one... the one thing I loved Inquisition for is that it took some risks. The third game is that there was one absolute genius there who said, hey, why don't... the elves are so self-righteous. Why don't we make it their own fault? Why don't we... Why don't we make it their own fault? Like, what do you mean? Like, well, the origin of the world, their own, is the Evanurus. Like, they did it themselves, That's such a clever way to, once again, turn it on its head. Just when you think you know it, bang, it's turned. I think it's a really good way to do the video, actually. Like, why don't we do the origins, and we go through the games? So we look at one origin in Dragon Age Origins, then we go through how they're represented in the games as we go on, and we can do it that way.
Okay, so, cool. We have...
We can stick with Origins for now, because we're nowhere near finished with Origins, but, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember, actually, how the City Elves, from my recollection, are pretty... They're
in the Alien
very
Age.
similarly presented in Dragon Age 2.
Yes. They never really changed. They never really changed.
Yeah, they never really changed. No. They're sort of like just a fundamental through line. And if they do change, they become... Let's see, it's been so long. They become sort of collateral damage. Because this, which makes sense. I guess you could say they are amplifying their City Elf origins thematic allegiance, I guess, to simply the urban poor, or the the Jewish
ghetto.
They're an
allegory of sorts for the city downtrodden.
And so in Dragon Age 2, it makes sense in that way. It weakens the archetype, but it it makes more sense in sort of a bad faith way that I think their involvement in Dragon Age 2 is primarily collateral damage of the Mage Templar War.
They are.
Yeah, which
they are used that way. Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I think it's one of those where you have a completely downtrodden race, and I don't think there's any subtlety to this whatsoever. Nor does there really need to be. It's if you really want to get across how bad things can get, that there is. Dragon Age Origins never really crosses the line. I don't know how you feel about Squick, about like, you know, things going a bit far.
What is Squick?
Squick is essentially when a company or a writer takes things a bit too far. So it's a bit like, ugh, why did you put that in there? Dragon Age only really crosses that line for me once. It's where two guards are talking, and there's a dead elf. It's in the City Elf origin. There's a dead elf on the floor, and she's pretty cute. And Warden says, "Oh, I hate it when they kill them before I can have my way with them." That's all right. That's fine.
Oh yes,
we can stop it there. And the other one says, "Why do you care? She's still warm." It's like, okay, right, okay. That
are humans bad?
Yeah, exactly. That I could do without it. It's
Don't
like,
you hate the cops?
It's like when you watch Star Wars and Anakin like takes his lightsaber out in front of the younglings. You're like, yeah, do we need this? Is this needed? Mm-hmm. It's fun.
But he's the bad guy.
Fuck them kids. It's fun. But still, like, you know, like, do we need this right now? And no. It's in my opinion. But
I think that the City Elf, and I don't even think do we get any City Elf shit in Inquisition in any meaningful capacity?
They're there, and they're a part of the I think it's the Mage's quest line. If you go down that route.
It's like they're still part of the culture of Thedas.
Yeah, they're melded in. You don't see them on their own, though. Not really. You see the other elves, but not City Elves.
Yes. Yeah. And so I think the City Elf origin is in some ways the weakest because it has the least amount of personality. However, I think it does punch above its weight class for the purposes of adding depth to the world. Because it's one of those things where, I don't know, it's an origin, it's a thematic element which is not cool or sexy or bombastic, but all human cities, or every major human city, has these elven alienages. And so this hints at a deeper history and a complexity within this fictional world, which, even though you're not staring directly at it, it adds complexity to the periphery. And it makes you feel as if there is a sort of lived and embodied history that is not merely siloed off into, you know, the elf place, the dwarf place, the human place, and like sort of these siloed buckets of like genre archetypes.
I think weirdly, the city elves are kind of a victim of the focus on the Dalish and the ancient elves.
Yes.
And they sort of become, as the games go on, they sort of become like an uncomfortable thing for BioWare to talk about, because some of the more adult... I mean, literally, the City Elf origin is your wife is kidnapped and raped. Like, you know, or, you know, like, that is dark shit. You know, it is absolutely dark shit. So,
yeah. And the dark tendencies of the BioWare writers to do the sort of revenge fantasy of the noble savage.
Yeah.
That is amplified more, and that obviously has to come through the Dalish stuff.
Yeah.
Especially with how they incorporate aspects of explaining the big cosmic forces of the setting. They're involved with, you know, Solas and the elven gods, etc., 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 etc. And so you get this sort of the Dalish supremacy angle, right?
Yeah.
Especially in Inquisition, or I guess especially in what the fuck, Trespasser, the real link between Inquisition and Veilguard, where okay, we see Solas put his plan really in motion, and he's recruiting, the Dalish elves rise up.
It's very. I think a good place to start was City Elf, because like from Origins, it's a good origin. It's decently written, apart from a few places. There are callbacks later on, but it is weirdly the one with the least amount of callbacks in Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah.
You don't really. You see the noble later on in the prisons of Alrend Howe, which is funny because you can just either kill him or torture him or whatever. But aside from that, you don't really get much. You can talk to the human nobles in a way, and you can talk to the Dalish in a way because you're the downtrodden, you're one of the elves. The Dalish look down on you. But aside from that, I think mainly they're a victim of, as the games go on, they fade into the background because, again, I don't want to make this political, but for all of the standing up for the downtrodden that the left does, it tends to be the left who hate these people the most. And
oh yeah, 100%.
Unfortunately, the writers really don't like the City Elf shtick as it goes on, and they don't do any. They do the worst thing you can do. They just don't cover it. They let it fade into the background.
Yeah.
Because that's all you deserve, right? And that's what they would say. That's all you deserve for bowing down to your captors, quote unquote. That's all you deserve. For you are now melded with human society, and it's a fate worse than death. It's like, dude, like we're all
okay.
Humans are okay. I mean, what the hell?
I guess.
I mean, like it's just
yeah.
I'm still in church. Well,
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we can move on from City Elf. I mean, we covered it, and it is the easiest to do to Dalish Elf, and
yeah,
I think Dalish Elf is where we're gonna see, because Dalish Elf, it becomes the entire fucking series. It literally just does.
Yes.
It becomes.
It does.
The Dalish Elf video game. That's what it is. From the Illuvions, the magic mirrors, which won't go away. They're in every game.
But they're so cool, man. They're so cool.
Because we've never seen magic mirrors before. Like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
It's.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. It's and the idea of the Dalish Elf, the Dalish elves are very cool, very interesting, and very well portrayed in Origins. Everything in Origins, more or less, is sort of in its proper place to make an interesting, resonant, and engaging world. This is why people fell in love with it. You get the Dalish Elf. This is where you get the real numinous stuff. The Dalish don't really remember where they came from, what specifically is going on. They have their stories and their traditions, and they respect those things and honor those traditions. They're trying to always find more to sort of preserve what they have lost. And that's very cool. It's very different than anything else that you see in Denerim, Redcliffe. Certainly very different than the dwarves, and it's even very different than the feel and how people talk in the Mage Tower. This is a sort of thematic link. One of the main thematic links to the sort of big questions about the world. Yeah. One of them is through the Dalish, and the other is through the Chantry, and the human church in Dragon Age. And as you say, we'll talk more about about this topic in particular later, perhaps. But in my view, the main failing, the main issue with the decline and rapid decline of Dragon Age is this tendency, which is prevalent in a lot of other fictional settings, to, because of a lack of creativity and a lack of faith in what they have created, need to start explaining in material terms what it all means, or where all these things came from. And so you have... It just makes sense. That's the Dalish elf culture is the path of least resistance to start jumping the shark, and in like these big, bombastic, ham-fisted ways talk about the deep lore, or what really happened. It was a bunch of super-powered, mega magic-charged Dragon Ball Z elf characters in the before times who, I guess, enslaved everything. I mean, is the real answer for everything.
Yeah. I mean, one of the really cool parts about the lore that I really like is the Valisleen itself, the facial tattoos. Because the elves are convinced that it's Tevinter who put these on our faces, and and it's Solus who says no, like, you know, like no, they're convinced that these are our heritage.
Their clan.
Yeah, these are our clan.
It's our heritage. Yes.
And it's Solus who says no, those are like slave markings from the Elven Kings so we knew who you belonged to. It's like, oh shit! It's like, whoa! And it's actually at the end of Inquisition where if you're in a romance with him, he offers to take away the tattoo. Says no, you're free now, which is cool. That's the way romances should be used. Is that you get specific things that are very special by being in a. I mean, romances. We'll get into that in a minute, but like. Romances, in my opinion...
It's a BioWare staple.
It's
a
staple.
Do a romance with. It's been this way since...
probably Baldur's Gate.
Neverwinter Nights, KOTOR.
Something like that, yeah. I mean, it went done well. I mean, they're fine. They are done very well in Origins, I will say that. We'll get into that in the companions when we get off the races.
Sure.
But,
we'll talk about the characters. Yeah.
But like the romances in this game are A tier. Maybe not S, but definitely A. So that is... The big weakness of the Dalish is the obsession of the writers with them. They're just absolutely obsessed with this race, because they're the strong, noble. They're off on their own. They're doing their own thing. They're very communal. They don't need no humans. It's all that kind of thing. Men, women are completely equal. Everything's utopian. And
it's the noble savage.
It's the noble savage.
It's the positive. Well, I'll just say the positive view of the state of nature and not make it any more.
I mean, it's the. Okay, I only need to talk about these Illuvions for a minute because
they're so stupid.
Fucking magic mirrors. Even in playing Dragon Age Origins, the Dalish elf. Origin, I saw that mirror and I was like, oh dude, come on. Really? Okay. Right, cool, whatever. It's a tainted mirror. How? How was the Darkspawn taint? Whatever, dude. Just get me into the game. Yeah. Here's Duncan. Look at Duncan's pecs.
Yay.
Awesome. Duncan's got his pecs. Come on.
Duncan's a great character.
Duncan's just the best. Gone too soon, my beloved Duncan. So like, for them to take that one thing and for the writers to go, okay, let's bring it up. As soon as Meryl in Dragon Age 2 takes you into that room and you see another one, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, here we go again. All right, and the whole Dalish story in that game is about that. Okay, fine. It was a side story, fine. But the implications are huge, that you can travel across the world, and you're going into the Fade, and all this other stuff.
And it's a type of magic at a scale which is completely incongruous with anything else that we've seen.
Yes.
It feels out of place. We're talking about, we're talking about warp gates and teleporters and dimensional shit now. And now we're in a different world.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so people said this to me in a live stream. I think it was like last year, around about this time last year. Somebody had a really big bee in their bonnet, and I was talking about this, and they said, well, you know, Tolkien has the Palantir and things like that. And I'm like, yeah, but he explains where that is like 3,000 years old. Feanor made those things, dude. Like he literally made those things, and they're there for a reason. And the funny thing is, the people right now don't know how to use them properly. Even Sauron, he doesn't know how to use them properly. He's just like, I guess I'll just look into this thing. Oh my god, there's something. They don't know how to interpret things, and it bites everybody on the ass. It doesn't work, you know. And when Denethor looks into this thing, he sees he takes the wrong conclusion from the news he's given by the Palantir. He's not wise enough, like Feanor or any of these other ancient people, to look into this thing. The only one who does, who can, is Elrond in this, because he's so old. And he is one of those ancient elves. But, like, there's a limitation on it. In Dragon Age, there isn't. You're given this Illuvion, and it's, you know, any of these elves can use it, and blah, blah, you can, it's fine. It just, they won't get off this horse. And then in Inquisition, they're everywhere. You can't, as soon as you see Morrigan...
And they have to be everywhere, because we have to increase the scale.
Yes, we got to be able to get from 1A. So instead of doing what Game of Thrones did, where it used to take an entire season for Jon Snow to go from, like, you know, Winterfell to the Wall. Now it takes one episode for him to get from there to King's Landing, sort of a thing.
Right.
So they make when you as a writer, be very careful. All of you watching, if you take one thing away from this, be very careful when you introduce these things to fantasy worlds, because you make the world smaller and less mysterious. All of a sudden, the whole world starts to shrink, and you know, in Inquisition, in the Trespasser DLC, we start seeing the Qunari just turn up halfway across the world. Why? Because they used an Evanoris. Because they used. It's like, how much cooler would it have been to see a massive war fleet of them coming towards you? That's much cooler than seeing us arrive through one of these gates. Sorry, Nick.
Yeah, no. You're completely right. I'm commiserating with you. It's because you're completely right, and it's this infuriating tendency from bad writers, which is almost a redundant statement at this point. A bad writer.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's where you have to distill the thing down into merely the exciting parts and the loudest parts, the parts that have the brightest color. You know, this is. I think of this as like the Marvel effect. It's like you have to exponentially jump things up.
Yes.
You know,
exponential growth and threat all the time.
And and it's like, look, man, you can, in the lore, say whatever you want. You can say that the mirror teleporters are. You can write 19 books that are in-world books that explain how the magic in them is logically consistent with the rest, with the way the Fade works, or whatever. It's like, that's not the point. You can write lore to explain within the lore anything. That is no defense from something that is so thematically dissonant. And what would you say? It's like a corrupting force on the verisimilitude of the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And when you have 1 billion magic mirrors, and you go in game and you see there's an entire like nexus, like we're in sci-fi territory now. We're in Marvel. This is like Marvel's Asgard shit. It's not that the idea of teleportation per se is impossible to be written in a way that could fit into the world in a particular circumstance. Sure, I guess, but you gotta. It's like, if you don't see what's right in front of you, and you have to make these logical excuses for something which is obviously on its face incoherent and incredibly jarring to everything else that you've seen before, and all of the things which have fit together so well before and have built this sense of immersion and verisimilitude. This is a world that's cool. Now there's this sort of rounding error, this thematic rounding error that I need to either account for, or I need to build more like cognitive dissonance to like keep it out, keep it as far into the periphery of my vision as is possible. This is, and we see this in Dragon Age with how the Elven Gods start to get portrayed.
Yeah.
What lyrium is and what it all means, and we get the Titans, and it's like, and then of course the entire aesthetic and scale of shit in Veilguard, of course,
we got one. Richard says something really interesting in the chat. He says Trespasser, the DLC of Inquisition, ends with the elves becoming an army and following Solus. In Veilguard, Solus works alone. BioWare, not even the old writers, do not have the balls for a race war. I thought that's where this was going. I'll be honest. I thought at the end of Inquisition, I thought, oh wow, they're going there. They're gonna have the elves be the bad guys. All right, cool, I'm down.
Yeah.
Like, let's do this. And again, as soon as I saw that first opening bit where Solus is there and he's on his own, and some falling masonry just stops him from doing what he needs to do. Whatever, dude. I just, yeah.
It's completely retarded.
Yeah.
And they obviously can't go in that direction. They can't follow through on their own, because there's enough self-preservation and enough self-awareness to, I think, like if we say that out loud,
say the quiet bit out loud. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I think we can leave the tail issues there. They're a very interesting take on the elves. They're very cool, and the elf lore and the gods were very interesting until we met them.
When it was mysterious.
Yeah.
And I just want to make this point real quick about mystery, and we can move on. I'll try and be as brief as I can, because I'm going to bring this point up again whenever we start talking about the Chantry and the Maker. We'll probably also talk about this as it pertains to Leliana, especially. One of the best things about Dragon Age Origins is there are very few material, physics-based explanations for the ultimate source of things in the world. The Maker, the Elven Gods, certain aspects of magic, and the Fade. And this is very important, and I think people get confused where there's a valid criticism to Dragon Age, and I've made this myself. Too many things are explained, let's say, and explained in a very stupid, bombastic, childish way. That's not to say that people make this argument about Lost. It's like, well, they should have never explained what the fog monster, what was going on. They should never explain what the Maker is, what the Elven Gods are, what the Black City, and because you sort of kill the golden goose. And there's a low-resolution way in which that is true, but more to the point, my focus on the mystery is not merely for the purposes of extending dramatic tension in the world. It will do that if you continue to not explain things, and that is good. But fundamentally, to me, what makes Dragon Age Origins such a living, vibrant world is there are people, Dalish, humans, dwarves, even, they truly believe things. This is a world in which there is an unambiguous, complete conviction in the existence of some kind of higher order.
Yeah.
There's something higher than mankind,
Do you
which
think
is
the Dalish are used as the main weakness? I think we can sum that up in that the Dalish are the vehicle through which things are demystified in Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Completely.
Especially,
Deconsecrated, demystified.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's something, gods in fantasy are interesting, as I said before, until you meet them. I don't want to meet the gods. I don't want to meet, Anatar or Eo in
Eru
Lord of the Rings.
Iluvatar, yeah.
Eru Iluvatar. I don't want to meet that. No. I don't want to meet.
Yeah.
The closest I want to meet is Gandalf, and he's an angel. So
Yeah.
But anything else, no. Like, keep that mystery. At the best fantasy settings, the gods are dead. Like, they're gone. We're living in the shadow of what's been left behind. That's cool, because that's what we do. You know, we'd never meet God. At least most of us don't. So, like,
yeah,
it takes away their majesty and their mystique and their power when you give anything a health bar. People have said this about Cthulhu and Lovecraftian monsters. They cease to be scary when they have an end. People say they're terrified of Dark Souls bosses. I'm not, because they have an health bar. I know they're beatable. Like, they shouldn't be. When Cthulhu should be this threat that you don't even. If he looks in your direction, he might kill you by accident because he doesn't mean to. He's a god. What do you want? The minute you spoilers. Why would you be watching this if you didn't want spoilers? Mythal is obviously Morrigan's mother, Flemeth. The minute you meet her, it's like, okay, where's it at then? Like, where were you in the first game? I know you saved us from the tower, but like, are you shitting me? Like, okay, whatever.
And this is it. It's not merely. You're completely right. And the reason you should never meet Iluvatar or Mythal or the Maker in Origins, it isn't just, well, it's going to be a letdown, or it's going to imply a help. Well, it is partly that, but it's not merely like this is going to be some sort of thematic letdown, or we're killing the golden goose and we can't extend that dramatic tension.
Yeah.
The main reason you don't do that is, by its definition, what is the Maker in this world? It's God. God, if you're going to have a world in which God exists, God is by his nature beyond mortal understanding. I'm not making like an actual religious argument. Like thematically that's what it is.
Are, yeah.
Yes, and so when you make a deity, or you make these mysterious primordial origins for how the world works, when you're answering these like highest level metaphysical subjects into like Avengers Endgame monsters or Avengers Endgame characters, not only is that retarded, not only is that a letdown, but it is the antithesis of what the thing is, which is incomprehensible. It's the incomprehensibility. It's the unknowable scale. It's the unreachable distance that makes them these things. And that's why Leliana is such a cool character. Not to go too far into her before we start talking about the characters, but that's why the Dalish elf religion and faith and traditions, it's so cool, it's so resonant. it feels the way that it should be, and why it's so bad once they start explaining everything. Well, the Darkspawn taint is, I guess, in part just infected lyrium, and also lyrium is literally just the veins and blood. It's the crystal blood.
Honestly,
like, holy shit, dude.
Honestly, I think Dragon Age is one of those settings that just starts to insist on itself far too much as we go along. Why don't we move on to... We can leave the elf bashing for now. One thing I will say is Warhammer the Old World elves would just obliterate nearly everything that you find in Dragon Age by themselves. But, you know, we won't get
I would
into
imagine
that.
so.
So let's talk about... We'll do the Mage origin, then we'll move into the Mage-Templar conflict and the Chantry. Because I think that all
this is
melds in together.
One of the big failures.
Yes,
of Dragon Age 2 and beyond.
But I think if it's going to start in Dragon Age Origins, I think the origin of I'm a big fan of any I'm a big fan of any origin that links back to one of the main quests. Big fan of that.
Yeah.
One of the big failures of the City Elf is it doesn't really do that. You go back to Denerim, but not for that reason. And it kind of ties in way at the end about elven slavery and stuff, but Tevinter, but not really. So
the Mage Tower stuff is one of the
huge
fundamental things. Yeah.
Yes. When you go back there, that you know everybody, you know, and everything's falling apart. As we know, mages in Dragon Age are inherently dangerous, as they are in a lot of settings. They can invite possession. They can invite demons and other things to go completely wrong, blood magic, and they're watched over by the Templar Order, who use lyrium and anti-magic practices to dampen them and keep them safe from themselves, essentially.
Right.
One of my favorite characters in Dragon Age is Vivienne, who is a mage in Dragon Age Inquisition, based as fuck. She literally supports the mage circle. She supports the prisons that mages are in, even though she is in one herself sometimes. Because she knows if you prove yourself able to resist, you're let out. You can walk around the world. You're on a leash, you know, they can call you back at any time, but you are safe in the circles relatively. You can learn your craft, you can learn how to channel and keep a hold of your powers. But there's a really cool juxtaposition here in that a circle of mages is as good as the people running it. If you have bad Templars in charge, you will get what is basically a prison camp with mages and all of those things that are there entailing. I'm not sure what the Ferelden one was like. To me, it looked pretty normal, like pretty standard.
It was good.
You know,
because they weren't making a statement. They're making a statement in Dragon Age 2.
It was
with
Hogwarts
the Kirkwall.
with some. You had to go through the harrowing, and if you couldn't, you were killed or made into a tranquil. But we were told by Wynne that not very many people would fail the harrowing. You know, it's one of those things where it's kind of a formality. Because
it's implied to be a very rare thing. Like something really had to have gone wrong.
Yes, I mean, I think we're told by Wynne that the Templars are there during the harrowing to keep you safe, and they're dampening the effect of the demon being inside of you, sort of a thing. So they're keeping you from dying. They just want to know whether a demon says, "Hey, do you want to join me?" If you just say yes straight away,
it's like, okay, well, we should kill you.
Yes,
and this is obviously the case. It's like neither the Circle nor the Templars is. I hate to phrase it this way, but there is no logical. It makes no sense for either the Templars or the Circle to be in the business of just killing people as they go to the top floor.
That would be silly.
That's retarded.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. I mean, that's what happened in Dragon Age 2, but we'll get into that a little bit later on.
That's where they jumped the shark. Yeah.
The shark called Meredith, but we'll get into that.
Yes.
So I really like the origin of. By the way, I'm pretty sure the mage origin is the only one to seep, apart from Human Noble, to seep into other parts of the game, other people's origins, right? So it actually comes
Yes.
up in the Arl of Redcliffe's quest line, because Jowan, who is your friend in the circle, has poisoned the Arl of
Yes.
Denerim to get off from being a
Right.
blood mage, basically, you know. So you get a lot of opportunities as a mage, and apparently, chat said you can be an elven mage. That's it in the.
Can
in the
you
chat.
really?
Yeah, apparently so.
Oh.
Apparently so.
How about that?
So it is essentially a heavy callback throughout of you being a mage.
Yeah.
And I think, unlike the elves, being a mage gives you a downtrodden aspect that's really interesting, because you have other mages there who are like, no, it's fine here. I can learn, I can study, I can make sure that I'm okay,
Right.
and maybe I can be like Wynn. When Wynn wants to join you, she just says to the Archmage, hey, I'm going to go with the Warden for a bit. Is that all right? I'll see you in a year. He goes, yeah, okay, bye.
Right.
If you prove yourself trustworthy, off you go. So I thought this was a really strong start for the mages, and I think also Morrigan, her reaction to the mages is also super interesting. The way she says, "No, they chose this. They chose this. They chose to be corralled. They chose to be jailed, and now the Templars have said they all need to die. Well, so let them die then. You know, because they chose it, you know." And what do you reckon?
The mage is definitely one of the strongest aspects of Origins. And it does add a lot of depth in terms of how the world works and how
Oh yeah.
it has a lot of ripples, I guess I'll say.
Huge ripples.
Or
Yeah.
not only literally in the game, but in terms of like painting the picture of how the world works and how people behave and what they believe and why. And it's Origin the Circle Tower stuff in Origins is so great because the writers are not really making a statement, as I said before. You know, this feels more real. Whether you, as a player, or you role-playing a character, or maybe you're a little bit more in favor of the Knight Commander, or you're more in favor of oh god, I forget his name, but one of the other
Archmage,
major. Well, there's Irving.
Irving,
who's the
yeah.
first enchanter, but we get hints at there's
Eldrad?
different.
Is it Eldrad, the bad guy? The guy goes
Ulrich.
Ulrich goes a bit crazy.
Yeah, we get a lot of hints at the depth of culture that's going on in within the tower and within all of the towers throughout Thedas, with the different schools, the antiquarians, and I forget what they're all called, but the stuff is going on, and there are mages who believe in the Maker. This is not inconsistent.
That's
It's completely consistent. What is unfortunate is how would you say this?
Just whilst you finish that thought.
Yeah, the writers, I think,
Okay.
betray one of the most interesting aspects of the world, to make a crude caricature
Yes.
in Dragon Age.
Let's
2.
go into that. I think we've explored. We're both big fans of how the mages are treated in Origins. Mainly
Yes.
because you have a lot of
And it's a
different
very cool
races.
magic system too.
Yes.
Involved in the dream, and you know, oh, cool shit. This is great.
Yeah. I think in Dragon Age 2, we're given two characters that I think basically, the issue with the mages is that, number one, the crown of the Mage Templar conflict is taken by the Dalish elves. Basically, it becomes about them. So that's resolved in 5 minutes in Inquisition, which we'll get into a bit later, or after this. But the two characters I'm going to talk about in Dragon Age 2 is Knight Commander Meredith and Anders.
The worst character ever.
Anders is just a massive piece of shit. And it enraged me back in the day how none of my friends could see this guy. This guy lies to you so that you will then go and...
Multiple times.
Yeah, so he lies to you to get the ingredients for this bomb that he's going to blow up the Chantry with in an allegory of 9/11. What are you doing? And then he has the gall when you call him out on it to be like, well, fuck you. I guess you don't care about mages then. How dare you?
Yeah.
When you are a mage, like you're a mage, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And you can say this to him as well. You've now made this worse for everybody. Now everyone's going to die, right?
Now everyone's going to die, and also you have made the world of Dragon Age worse for all of the players, because now it's this thing. Now we're stuck in this like framing, where it's just it's the evil Nazis with their concrete concentration camp and the innocent victims who just are completely peaceful, and there's no reason they shouldn't.
There are certain points in Dragon Age 2 they do try. There are certain really, like, one of them kills your mother. Like, there are certain mages in Dragon Age 2 where you're like, fuck mages, kill them all, right? Because they're just evil. And that works. It's crude, as you said. It's not well written, but they try.
Yes.
With Anders, he is such a piece of shit, and I will. If you let this guy live in your save file, we shouldn't talk. Like we just. I don't want to be around you. This guy has the goal to say I'll be remembered by future generations. Now it's like fuck you. It's an ego thing. It's an ego thing. It's got nothing to do with rights. It's an ego thing.
It's a complete ego thing, and Anders is the result of the worst impulses of this millennial style of writing, where Anders truly is a child with a temper tantrum. Is really all that it is, but it's of course being framed as the most noble stance in the most noble fight that's ever been fought before. And it's so amplified, and the consequences or the results are so literally and figuratively explosive that this is just there's no way to come back from that. You can't retcon out of it. It's like, okay, there was a terrorist bombing of a cathedral. Someone blew up Notre Dame. To fight the resistance. It's like, well, now you fucked the whole thing up.
Yeah.
Now you fucked the whole thing up for everybody.
I will say, like, the issue is the one thing I liked about this. Okay, number one, look how we're talking. We're very impassioned talking about it, right?
Yeah.
So it got that out of us. And number two, characters in the game call Anders out. I don't think he thinks he's a hero, but I don't think the writers, even if they do think he's some sort of hero, they don't seem to have got that across in the writing, because every single sane character is like, dude, you're a fucking idiot. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Like, every character who's not Fenris, because he belongs in Final Fantasy and not Dragon Age. Every character but that guy is like, dude, what the fuck? And obviously, even First Enchanter Orsino, Riches, we'll get to that in a second. Even First Enchanter Orsino is like, what have you done? like what have you done? Why did you do that?
I think they do think he's a hero, and the reason they do this, or the reason I think this, is because they made him. The reason he's still around is he he melded with a spirit of justice. And I know they said,
I
he
forgot about
became
that.
a spirit of vengeance. Like,
I forgot about
okay,
that.
but like, dude, I see what you're doing, you fucking assholes.
forgot
like,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh, dude, I love justice.
But wasn't it really?
Why can't we just
Didn't
have
the end
justice?
really
It's so
justify the
funny.
means?
He's like walking around this guy's corpse, and then he meets his wife.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hello, my lady."
Yeah.
Pulls the skin back. Is that
Yeah.
better? I'm like full on Man in Black.
A brief tangent just on Anders. I have. So of course we've said before, even in Origins, we're in the age of millennial writing, but it was so much better.
Oh yeah. Well, he's
I
in
think
Origins,
Anders is the devolution and ultimate end state of Alistair as a character. Alistair is kind of like a millennial character, but he's still a good character. If you shave off anything that's interesting about him and you give into those millennial impulses, you become Anders.
Yes.
So he's the perfect millennial male character.
Yes. As soon
And
as you write,
the end point of the millennial female character is Isabella.
as soon as you write, oh my god, what have they done to my girl? As soon as you write anything, because you have something to say, you failed.
You fucked up. You done
failed.
fucked up.
There's nothing wrong with. Well, we're not saying your writing can't be influenced by your political leanings and your thoughts on the world. That's
Sure.
interesting.
It can't not be.
Yeah, it's interesting. You're a person. Go figure. Well, what if you're making a conscious effort to put these things into your setting and into your work? That's when you go from Anders in Dragon Age Awakening, who's a likable guy who did fart jokes with Ogryn and was just a fire mage who was pretty funny as a healer. Then you go from that to the end of Dragon Age 2, Anders.
Yep.
Those are two different writing styles. I just like the allegory of blowing up the Twin Towers was just like I watched that even as like a guy in my early 20s who was just there. I was just in university for beer and pussy at this stage. That's literally all I was there for. And
Yeah.
my jaw dropped. I was like, "There's no way they did this. There's no way." And there it goes. And
What a strange thing to put in your game.
What a strange thing to put in your game about dragons and pirate wenches and stuff. Again, allegory's fine. Actually, no, it's not. Allegory's shit. And allegory's shit because Tolkien told you it was.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't like allegory.
And these writers aren't even good enough to do allegory.
No,
and
he was. And he stayed as far away from allegory as he could.
Yeah.
He told you.
Yeah.
He did an entire essay on it. Go read it. It's free. Go read it online. It's amazing. When he talked about allegory, and people saying to him, the ring is an allegory for the nuclear bomb. He goes, no, it isn't.
Like,
It's
shut
just-
up.
it's
Shut
just-
the fuck up,
it's just
nerd.
It's just a powerful thing that's in the. Just shut up. Gene Roddenberry had this multiple times, where it's like, the Klingons like a sort of an allegory for toxic masculinity or whatever it was, whatever it was at the time that some feminist said to him, and he was like, no, like, just shut up. They're just cool guys with bony foreheads. Like, what's wrong with you?
Shut up, you dumb bitch.
Yeah. And Gene Roddenberry got around, by the way. Like, that guy, him and Gary Gygax were like, multiple wives, dude. Like I want to read a book on Gary Gygax's life because he got into some shit back in the day. As everybody, dude, all of these writers from back in the day who created these things were all Chaddingtons. They were all out there.
They lived better lives than we have.
They were just smashing it, and to live in that day of like, hey, John Arneson, do you want to come around and just play in my little Greyhawk world, and maybe we can sell it and make millions of dollars? Yeah, cool, let's do that.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah. I mean, I say that, but you guys are on the journey to do that yourselves, so, get all the babes in.
We're trying to climb the mountain.
Yeah. So, so that is the Mage Templar conflict, and let's jump it forwards to Inquisition.
Yes.
So, Inquisition, the Mage Templar conflict is in the game for all of 5 minutes. It is there to be the spark that starts the story, essentially. And it is resolved at the end of Act 1.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
When you choose one side, either the mages or the Templars to side with to resolve the conflict and bring everybody together again. Because wouldn't you know it, the BioWare writers, they've got to talk about elves again, which they're going to do for the next 3 quarters of the game. And this was a bit of a travesty to me, because I came into that game really happy and excited to see this world war kick off between, the mages and Templars, and Tevinter are going to invade, obviously, because this is their chance, to empower the mages and get them over there, and which they kind of started to do. I was really excited when we got to see Alexius, and, him coming over and, taking control of the rebel mages. I thought, here we go. The legions are on their way.
Yeah.
We're gonna see Tevinter legions. We're gonna be awesome. And it was resolved in 5 minutes, and then, whatever. And, again, the one good thing it gave us, Inquisition, is Vivienne. She's just awesome. She's just great. As a character who just... Yeah, I should hate this, but I don't. Why? Because I worked hard. God damn it. I worked in the system. I worked hard. And now I have all these cool things. So, well, yeah, but you should support all of us, because we're all downtrodden. No. Because, Vivienne's
no.
Vivienne's from the gutter, and she worked her way up. She's like, well, I did that. In a really bad mage circle, which it was. Where she was, it was not a good place. I've read the comics because I'm sad. But where she was not good. It was not a good place, and she worked her way up.
Yeah.
And she became involved with a noble, and she's now in the Imperial Court, and has all this finery, and she worked her ass off to get there. So when she sees mages saying, "Just give us everything, just make sure, just set us free," she's like, "Fuck yourself." As somebody said here, Smidsy said, "It makes sense to put a little safety pin on the walking nukes." Yeah, who would have thought? You know what I mean? Maybe we do that. I don't know, man. That's just me.
And it's, abominations are not Templar propaganda. We see them all over the place.
Yes.
This is, it could be so interesting. And in Inquisition, I agree with you completely about Inquisition. The thing that's frustrating is, the game actually starts, the whole preamble, justification for the game taking place, if you're going to try and retcon the whole Anders hit from Dragon Age 2 and get us out of this fucking framing,
God knows we want
they don't
to.
Get us out of this framing, because even after the beginning of Inquisition, the Mage Templar conflict still happens. You choose the side. Even Vivienne, an interesting character. It's just one character's take on this particular argument that's going on. However, I actually would have respected them for this. The whole point of the reason there's an Inquisition, oh my god, the bad guy, Corypheus.
Corypheus, yeah.
Yeah. The whole the Corypheus blows up the Pope and half the mages as part of a peace conflict.
It's just
okay, well, clearly there's a bigger threat, because now we have literal dimensional portals and dimensional rifts happening, and now we're really in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
I don't know whether you laughed at the same point I did, but when you get that flashback of your Inquisitor running into the meeting with Corypheus, he's just like, what's going on here? It's like,
what's all this then? It's
just like Elder God. It's just like, kill him immediately. And it's like, oh my god. Just picks up the orb thing. Oh, I guess I'll just pick that up. Is this rolling?
Is this thing mine now?
Yeah. Although, okay, let's talk about Corypheus for a bit, because we'll get into. No, in fact, let's talk about Inquisition now, because we'll follow all the way through, won't we? So we'll go into Inquisition.
We're weaving through.
We're weaving through it. So we're starting with Origins, for those of you who don't know, and Origin, and then we're talking about that all the way through the games. We're skipping Veilguard because it's a piece of shit, and I'll talk about it a little bit towards the end. I'll fill Nick in on where that went. None of your choices mattered, by the way. That's basically what we're going with.
Yay!
Yay! So Corypheus has one of the most badass. I was sold an Inquisition when he turned up at Haven, with that. Pray that I succeed, for I have seen the throne of the gods, and it is empty. You know, that was just like, that is some peak. Because I'll go to bat for you, Hitler. You know, it's like one of them. Like I kind of, I get what he's saying, man. I get what he's saying. Like maybe he's right. He says, I want to correct this blighted world. I want to take control of Tevinter. I'm going to correct the world. Now, of course, he's a blighted monster, so his version of correcting the world is not great. But also, like, he's so cool, and his entire shtick is, I get where he's coming from. I can understand what his motivations are. I can understand he can control the blight. That's terrifying. He's one of the guys who started the whole thing off.
Right.
All of this stuff.
He's one of the original
the
Magisters.
Who went into the Fade. And, you know, I just think he was such a missed opportunity. And by the end of Inquisition, he's kind of a joke because you've beaten him like several times.
It's a huge missed opportunity. He's a huge joke because you could very easily outlevel him.
You kill him with bees. Like, he just...
Yeah, which is what I did. I wasn't even trying to. I just wanted to finish everything in the game.
He just looks... When you actually beat him, he looks tired. He looks... In the cutscene, he's just like...
I'm tired, boss.
I'm tired, boss. just put me out of misery. But when he turned up with the archdemon, I was like, dude, this is gonna be epic. I think the entire...
Wouldn't it be great if that were true?
I mean, I think the entire series, it started getting worse with obviously the end of Dragon Age 2. I think this is the turning point. When they screw up Corypheus, that's it. We're done. Because we're kind of thing, you know. Sorry, my God.
The thing with Corypheus is there's something about Corypheus which is a huge mystery to me, because I agree. He looks very cool. He has some very cool lines, and what he is, which is one of the initial Tevinter Magisters who went to the Black City and supposedly started the Blight. Okay. That is a very bold move. Let's set aside my complaints about explaining things for a moment. Okay, you're going to have, and you seeded this guy in like a Dragon Age 2 DLC. Okay, we're gonna have one of the guys who was there. This is like a demigod, a god unto men. A guy who was there, knows exactly what the Blight is, what happened, where the Maker is, all this shit.
Yeah, danger zone.
That's a huge fucking promise.
Yeah.
This hypes you up as like, holy shit, this is a guy who's got all the fucking answers. However, I will also say, I was skeptical with Corypheus because they have one of Corypheus's counterparts in Dragon Age Origins, and they fucked him up too.
We'll get into
in
him.
a different way, which is the Architect.
Somebody said in the chat, yeah. So yeah, we're getting into that now. The Architect.
But you have it's baffling to me to have a guy who supposedly was there, and you want to get those answers, and you at least want his side of the story.
Sure.
You know, because it builds this guy up as a villain, as a force to be reckoned with, and the guy has like blight amnesia, and it's very strange. It's like here's a guy who should have all the answers. He doesn't give you really any of the answers.
Yeah, he says certain things. I think he does confirm that when he got there, it was black. He says that.
It was black and nobody was there, and he hints that the Kunari are like a Tevinter genetic experiment.
Yes, which would be very funny.
Which is retarded, but
like, yeah. Again, but then
it's like, why? What are you doing?
Yeah,
you completely dropped the ball.
Just have this guy be. If you bring in a Corypheus, he better be the big bad for the entire series, not one game. Like this is the guy,
like it's like where do you
know?
go from here? Well, I guess you go to fighting elfin gods.
Yeah.
I guess is what you do.
Yeah. It once you've gone to this well, you can only draw from it once.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when they go to Veilguard and we have Elganon and Gillenane, I only know those names because I swear to you, I've not read any more nerdy comics. They just took in the first like half of Veilguard before I stopped playing. I put it down not because of the woke stuff, because it was there, but I was expecting it. It was those two names burned into my brain because they won't stop talking about them. It's like, oh, the Elven Gods, Elganon and Gillenane, all the way.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, dude, yeah, I get it. Right, okay.
I understand what what you're telling me the game has to be about.
Yes. This is one of those. It's a game where you literally have a block puzzle where the squares go in the square, and like the companion tells you what to do.
Yeah,
like,
man.
I mean,
peak content.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I again, once you jump this shark, literally Corypheus is jumping the shark, the character. Like,
yes.
We can go there.
Yes.
I love him. He should have worked. He's an amazing character.
He should have worked.
He's an amazing
The idea
concept.
of Corypheus is cool.
Yes, he's an amazing concept. And as his speeches, whoever wrote for Corypheus, top marks, because all of the shit that he said was cool. He did kind of come like a guy who has Alzheimer's, but is like an elder god as well. So he's like, oh, doesn't really know where he's going, what he's doing. And you get the real feeling when you see that flash forward when he takes over the world. You get the feeling that he's like, I wasn't meant to do this. It's like,
what was my plan again?
Yeah.
Make everything fill with red crystals?
Yeah. This is not what I had in mind. Anyway, about time to get on my dragon again. He was huge missed opportunity. Especially.
I think it just shows the writers didn't know how to write at this point. They fucked it up because they knew by this point the answer is going to come via the elf angle and via Solus. And we can't have... And they know by this point, to one degree or another, the real answer to all things is elves. Is what that is. So I feel like they almost purposefully, even if it's not fully consciously, have to undermine Corypheus because he's a human, he's a Tevinter.
Yes.
He's a lesser race than the elf gods. It's even older than Corypheus. It's like, oh my god. But then why bring him out, I think they just fucked up. I think they didn't know what to do. And we'll just give him red crystal powers.
Well, since we're there, we're on the Blight.
Yes.
Let's talk about Darkspawn for a sec. I want you to look at the screen for a sec.
Okay.
On our screen.
Corypheus is still up there for me.
Hell yeah! I mean, he's
a cool, cool guy.
So.
And he should have been cooler. I hate the architect so much.
But it's apologetic megalomania. I'm really
it's because the architect. Ah, yes. I knew we were gonna.
Yeah.
The redesign in Dragon Age 2.
It gets worse. It does get worse.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Further into the game, you start seeing some models that are terrifyingly bad. You just whoa, that's scaring me for all the wrong reasons.
They are horrifying, but for the wrong reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think this guy was the one that got me. I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, he's coming towards me. I'm like, what?
It's like, and the ogre is the coolest of the models, and now he's the stupidest.
Like, it was literally, how do you take something... Okay, so I think we all know in Dragon Age Origins, the Darkspawn and basically the Orcs they're basically orcs.
They're goblins and they're orcs.
They're
Yep.
goblins and orcs.
They're orcs and hobgoblins. They're goblinoids, is what they are. With the exception of the ogre, which is
Yes.
a cool thing.
Yes. But the thing is that they're Dragon Aged up in that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about where the Darkspawn come from for a sec. And this is one. This is one of those scenarios where I would have been all right if they didn't do this.
Is this from Veilguard? This has to be from Veilguard.
No.
This skull
this
thing?
screen? Yes, it is. Yeah, this is Veilguard. Yeah.
What the fuck even is that? Is it
an ogre.
implied that the blight is... Jesus Christ. Is the implication that the blight, like some sort of goo, is possessing a corpse? What even is this?
I don't know. This was my breaking point. It wasn't
This
this
is the most
scene.
retarded thing.
Yeah, it wasn't this scene. It was a scene like a little bit before this, but this was kind of my breaking point when they started turning up. I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm out. You've stolen my boys, because okay. Let me just explain to people you don't know where the Darkspawn come from in Dragon Age Origins, right? And then look at this picture, right? Cool. So, the Darkspawn are born literally. Because during one of their raids, women are taken down below the ground and are essentially abused, shall we say, until they become the force-fed Darkspawn flesh and DNA. Think about that if you like. And they are forced to become brood mothers and then give birth to hundreds of thousands of Darkspawn, and their existence is considered to be torturous and, a fate worse than death, right? Okay. This guy on screen comes from that process. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
I think we're seeing now the bastardization of Dragon Age. Now, I'm not a huge fan of where the Darkspawn come from, but I am a huge fan of how they did it. And it was very Hitchcockian. They told you just enough, and then they let your imagination do the rest, and they did it with a children's poem. You diabolical bastards. They did it with a children's poem.
That's
right. These are the same writers.
Like the movie Slither.
Yes. These are the same writers who, when you're the human noble, which we'll get into in a minute, and you're talking to Oren, who's like your nephew, he says, I want to have a sword. And you say, don't worry, Oren, soon you'll see a sword close up real soon. And he's dead in the next scene from a raid. It's you sick puppies. But that is... How do you feel about... Because the Darkspawn, to me, there's a really cool line. It says... it was somebody who says, that's where they come from, that's why they hate us, and that's where they need us. That's so good. It's almost like there's some part of the Darkspawn that knows how vile they are. Like, that is terrifying as a threat, as a thing. I don't know how you feel about Darkspawn in Origins.
So, look, the Darkspawn in Origins, they're very, very, very cool. Especially the Ogre, top tier. Ogres look the coolest. In Dragon Age 2, I'm not opposed to the idea of BioWare trying to enhance or tweak the appearance, particularly of the Genlocks and the Hurlocks, because they do look very goblin-ish. I don't have a problem with that, but if you want to make it clear these are not goblins, you can do that. But you did such a poor job. It's such... Even in Dragon Age 2, it's like... I don't know what these things are supposed to be. All of the Darkspawn are these, like, emaciated, skeletal-looking guys with no eyelids. It's like they kind of look undead.
The emissaries or whatever?
They kind of...
Yeah.
It's... I don't know what they were trying to go for aesthetically, but this doesn't... Even if you have never played Awakening, let's pretend Awakening didn't happen, and the origin of the Darkspawn is still a mystery. When I look at a post Dragon Age Origins Darkspawn, this does not look like a creature created in some way by something called the Blight.
Yeah.
It looks like a scuffed undead. It looks like, even if you were doing an undead, this, like, they're not rotting, they're not cool looking. It just looks like a dog shit excuse to have, like, a low polygon model or something.
It's like, well, the one thing that Awakening got right is the Childer. Like, the grubby dudes. They look horrifying.
Yeah.
Those are Darkspawn. Like,
those are Darkspawn.
That's something I would say, oh yeah, that's an alien thing, that's a Darkspawn. That sucks. Like, whatever that is, that sucks.
Yes.
These are more heavy metal Tolkien orcs, essentially. That's what we have. Which is fine, but they really course corrected in Awakening to a point where I was like, okay, they got the memo now. They know.
Yeah.
They know that they kind of screwed up with that, and this is where they're going to go. Unfortunately, in Dragon Age 2,
they stopped. They changed course again.
They changed
in the
course
worst
again.
way possible.
And they become basically crossbowmen for some reason.
With this retarded stylized. I think this is right. This like angular armor set that they all have.
Yep.
That also, now that I'm thinking about it, looks kind of like the Venatori, and it's like everybody has these sharp, angular. It's like, look at these guys. It's like, okay, the guy at the front there, he looks kind of orc-like. Is there a way to make this guy a bit more stylistically different so that this is definitely a Darkspawn and not an orc, so we have brand recognition, whatever, and we can be more sure. But what you did to him, it's like that the new model does not look anything like that thing.
It's kind of like when Games Workshop try and, they're called the Duardin, not the dwarves. It's like, no, dude, there's a reason it works. Put their clothes back on. There's a reason it works. You know what I mean? Like you can have your normal looking ass orcs that are a bit more scuffed like this, and have them come from the Broodmother. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. But like, I get a sense with Awakening, they just worked under the radar and they went, let's make this alien. Let's make it like Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
Let's go that direction with it. And if they'd have gone there in 2, and then further on, dude, that's horrifying. Like, you do not want to be facing Darkspawn if that's what they look like. And it should be like that. But I guess if you're making it more mainstream, because the gameplay did change from game to game, I guess now's a good time to
it became
talk
an
about
action
that.
RPG.
Yeah.
In 2.
It's like everyone's got massive muscles. Everyone's like, and again, I love Power Fantasy. It's great. I love Good and Evil. I love barbarians. I love feeling like I'm setting the world right. Like, that's what I want to do. But like, Dragon Age is a game where tactics are involved and builds are involved. There are no builds in Dragon Age 2. It's just unlock the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing until you become more powerful. And Mage is completely busted in Dragon Age 2. It's ridiculous, like some of the things you can get away with. So, again, they make we start to see EA's influence on the combat and the gameplay in Dragon Age 2. We start to see them coming away from their roots.
Make it less gory, make it cleaner. We're never going to see a Broodmother again. We're never going to. No. I think basically everything in Origins is sort of quietly retconned. So, and you also see this with like there's with the advent of Red Lyrium. There's something about Red Lyrium that also transmits the Blight. Like, I think they're quietly just not going to have the Broodmother, the Awakening stuff in future games, which I feel like is probably also why we have not seen the Architect again. I think they're just quietly, let's just not talk about that. Let's reference the lore from that as little as possible.
The weird thing is, he's in the keep. If you have the Dragon Age keep where you build your own save file for Inquisition, he's in there. So, like, they wanted to remember it. They wanted the game to remember that you did that. I think Inquisition was kind of, they tried to right the ship and say, let's bring back some of the tactics into it, and they did. I think the combat in Inquisition's fine. I think the gameplay's fine.
For an action RPG, sure.
For an action RPG. I mean, the actual mechanics of the world don't work. Because most players are greedy little goblins, and they will want to do everything in an area, then move on to the next one. I'm not that way inclined. I'll roleplay it, and it works if you roleplay it.
Yeah,
it does work. Because I'm the Inquisitor. Why would I go and mine for you, or take flowers to your wife's grave? I have underlings to do that for me. No, go away.
Right.
You know,
I'm leading.
I'm not playing an MMO.
Oh. Exactly.
I'm the Inquisitor. I'm not playing an MMO. I'm playing an RPG, and the game will let you do that. It's fine, and you can have all of the power and all of the things. But the amount of my friends that I know that stopped playing because they couldn't get out of the hinterlands because it was just too much shit to do. It was too.
Well, this is the problem.
Checkboxes everywhere.
It's open world bloat.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of open world games. At this point, not saying you can't do it well, but we've had too many open world games, and developers have taken only the worst lessons from open world game trappings and objectives. It's you go to the hinterlands, complete all the side quests, do all the collectibles, all the flags, all the constellations, all the I forget all the bullshit you have to. Resource management, collecting minerals, and then also close all the rifts, obviously, and
requisitions.
It's requisitions.
Mm-hmm.
It's just shit. It's shit. It's a type of game and gameplay that's really, it has to go away. It has to go away. It's the worst part of Inquisition, in my opinion. And it also exacerbates the diminishing of the size of the world.
Yeah.
Because you have to have these big maps, these big open world maps that actually can't have a lot of, or can't have much uniqueness and flavor to them in most cases. Because you got to fill with a bunch of fucking bullshit, and you just fast travel. You're not just fast traveling across Ferelden, you're fast traveling across basically all of Thedas. I know you don't go to literally every country and yada yada yada.
Sure. Yeah. You're
the worst, the casualty of Inquisition is Orlais.
Yeah.
Orlais is boring as shit, dude.
Well,
the way they present it.
Weird parts of it. You see Val Royeaux, which is fine, but you only see like one little bit of it. Even though it's nice. You're then in
I think Val Royeaux looks like shit. So you see the Exalted Plains, right?
Yes. I mean,
there's the snow. There's the snow place too.
I think I'm getting the thing that came to my mind when I talked about Val Royeaux then was the sound of it, not the look. I don't know why. Because it sounded like what Liliana described it as in Origins. Yeah. And I was like, and so I didn't really look at it. There's a market there, and there's a whatever.
It's like a little bazaar. You're at a market square,
that's it.
And that's
I remember one bit where you can look towards a palace on a lake,
Yes, yeah. That bit I was like, see across.
Whoa, that's cool. I want to go there.
Too bad you can't.
Yeah. We see the Western approaches, which is like, here's what the world would look like after the Blight is done with it, and I was like, cool. This is great. I like this. And that was one of the best places. Like Hissing Waste was okay as well. Especially because you need it for the Inquisitor gear when you want to get that.
Yeah.
Where else? Yeah, the Exalted Plains.
I think it was just those two maps in Orlais, right?
No, Emprise de Leon. The
oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
That's where there's the encampments.
Yes, and you had the huge aqueducts that were just like, oh, look, there's a Tevinter aqueduct. That's awesome, and all these different things.
Right.
So, again, the actual design of the world in Inquisition, I would say, it is really nice. I like the Emerald Graves. There's a lot to like about Inquisition, despite all of its flaws, and it has many.
Yup.
But I quite enjoy it, and especially if you play it on its own terms. Again, I'll say this now. If you play Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition on their own terms, and you don't compare them to Origins, you will have a really fun time. The minute you start comparing it to Origins, that's when both games fall flat on their face. Because I hated 2 for so long, and then one day I sat down, I was craving Dragon Age, craving something I haven't played before, so I took it on its own merit, and I really enjoyed 2. Apart from Anders, I really enjoyed 2.
Yeah.
So, like, again, these are games that are fine, good RPGs, but they're not Origins, and I think that's also
right.
You know,
They are their own thing, and much of the magic of Origins is gone in a way which cannot be undone at this point. Too many ultimate answers have been stamped, which have second and third order consequences, which just make the world a far more diminished place, which is unfortunate. And I think that world, even if you got rid of the woke stuff, even if you had a design team of people who wanted to do a good Dragon Age game, there's... I think there's so little like healthy tissue left.
Yes. I think it's fucked.
It's like, what do you even do? It's like you have infinity money, and you have total autocratic dominion over creative control. What do you even do? Or you're a wizard, and you could snap your fingers and make the good dragon. Like, I don't know.
Like, so I don't know. Two things. We'll go on to our other Origins in a sec. But Board just said, is there a way an Anders character could have worked? I'm gonna say yes, absolutely, because there's a way to make every character work if you're not a retard. But like the problem is, whoever wrote, I think it was David Gader, whoever wrote Anders is a fucking idiot, and there comes a time when you have to tell some of your writers no. And I don't care if it's Patrick Weeks, I don't care if it's David Gaynor, who's written some truly awful novels in the past, and that somehow makes him qualified to pass comment on other people's work. I just think whoever wrote that turned it in 2 drafts, and they went with it, because it's absolutely diabolically stupid, and I swear the game looks at you at least once and winks at you and says, you know he's right? And no, he's not right, because your own characters are telling you. And I think that's the writing team actually talking at each other. It's like, you know, whenever somebody who wrote for Sebastian or who wrote for I don't know, Isabella or whatever would be like, hey, that's stupid.
I forgot about that character.
Yeah, Sebastian, because he was DLC and not a very good one at that.
That's right. Yes.
That character's so boring you can't even romance him because he wants to stay chaste. That's just... I respect it, but my God, weaponized boredom. So no, I think there is definitely a way to do it, but not in not if you call BioWare.
I have a slightly different take. Ultimately, I agree with you. Yes. The thing about Anders as a character is 100% of Anders' character is merely being a vessel to have a very strong opinion about this one issue. This one issue, which is the entirety of Anders' character, is an aspect of any mage character in the world of Dragon Age. This is some sort of conflict that is going to exist inside of it by virtue of being a mage in this world. The problem with Anders, and why I think you ultimately can't redeem him, is you're just taking this aspect, which is part and parcel of being a mage within Dragon Age, expanding that massively and having that be the character.
I think what Board was saying, and I agree with what you just said. I think you can. It's whether the character works or not, not whether he can be redeemed or not. And I think you can write Anders in a way where he works, but he's an irredeemable piece of shit. Like that's fine.
Yeah.
What they did, it was like the mask came off and slipped for a bit, and then went back on again.
Yeah.
So let's go back to our next. Shall we do dwarf next?
Hell yeah.
We'll do both. The
dwarves are so cool.
And now I've been spoiled because I'm from the old world, so they're not Warhammer dwarves. For shame, but
for shame.
But
although having talked to you last week about Warhammer Fantasy, I can definitely see a lot of similarities.
Yes,
definitely the Legion of the Dead is very much like the Slayer Oath.
Mm-hmm. The Legion is so cool, man. And I will say this, like, the voice actors for the dwarves, chef's fucking kiss.
Yeah. And it's cool to give them an American accent, which is not what you would expect.
Yes. And I was expecting Scottish, and we did get that a few times. But, like, my favourite origin is the Dwarven noble, because you can be such an arrogant piece of shit.
Yeah, and you should.
It's like asking me, why is this person talking to me? And like you have Steve Bloom saying, because he forgets his place. It's like, yes, yeah. I will fight in the proving myself to defend my own honor. Why? Because my balls are yay big. That's why.
Yes. Yes.
You're the only character who Duncan goes out of his way to just salivate over. Can you imagine if he was in the Wardens? Whoa, that'd be so cool. And then he finds you like without your shoes in the deep roads. He's just like, oh, you. It's awesome. I love it. I love the dwarves.
Dwarves are awesome.
They're the best part of any. If you put dwarves in your setting, I'm sold. I'm there. Unless you make them like D&D dwarves, where they're getting married to each other all the time and whatever. They're all baking cookies. One thing that I really loved about the dwarven noble storyline is how much of a piece of shit Balin was, but also he's right. You know, like he's right. Haramont isn't. Haramont is a good guy.
Haramont is not right. Yeah,
but he's incorrect. You know, like if you put Balin on the throne, he reclaims certain parts of the deep roads.
It will be way better for everybody, and for the dwarves in particular.
He opens up trade with the surface. He brings the Chantry in. He starts leading exalted crusades into the deep roads to kill the Darkspawn.
Finally.
He takes back several massive cities. Dude, I mean, never see that. It's a crime, man.
It's such a shame we don't see that, and all the bullshit that we see in Inquisition about the dwarves.
Yes,
I can't stand it.
I hate how the only race that really gets an arc are the Dalish elves. We could have seen the dwarves go through a journey like this, where they start reclaiming their tags. And then what happens? What happens if somebody assassinates Balin? What happens then? Like, it is all split apart again. Like, it's such an interesting thing, and I don't know, man. Like, what do you reckon of the dwarves on how?
Well, in certain ways, the dwarves are the which I guess dwarves, of course, are anti-elves, but they have this sort of reverse. They have like an inverse trajectory to the elves in Origins, in Dragon Age, the series writ large, because the more you learn about the elves in Dragon Age, the more agentic, the more Dragon Ball Z-like and all-powerful they are, and the more you learn about the dwarves, the more closer to literal ants they seem to be. They're just brainless drones, I guess, of these colossal mountain-sized titans. It's like, geez, dude, that's and that's not how it was in Origins.
No,
dwarves are so cool, and they're still doing so much, despite having lost a ton of what they have.
Well, do you not think
this idea that Orzammar wasn't even the real capital city? It was like a mining city.
Yeah,
like, dude. Yeah. It's at Cal Shirok, I think.
Cal Shirok, yes, in the chat as well. So I also think there's certain parts of the writing of the dwarves where you can see where Bioware's balls have gone. Because in the Dwarven Noble storyline, you come across these people called it's something really derogatory, like noble suckers or something. And basically, the way that it works in Dwarven society is that the house that your nobility is carried on down the female line, not the male. So you will get women, if you're a noble, from across Orzammar throwing themselves at you, wanting to have your kid. Even a bastard, because they need so many dwarves. Even a bastard immediately elevates them to the noble status if they have a baby with you.
Yeah.
So you basically, as the prince, so like you have your pick of the litter, sort of a thing. So you're talking to these two dwarven women, and they're like, "Yeah, you need to take one of us to bed later on." And you're like, "Yeah, obviously you say, can I have both?" And there's no persuasion here because it'd be so easy to put a persuade there. No, you're the prince.
Yeah.
You get to decide. And
You get to decide.
All she says is like, "Oh, she's my lord has his energy about him today. All right, we'll both wait for you in the chamber." It's like, fucking great. All right, cool.
You damn right you will.
I've been playing this game. I've been playing this game for 5 minutes. I'm just like, what is
finally, a game for me.
Yeah, finally, a game for me.
It's so
awesome.
cool.
Like, and it fits. It fits in. Like, it's not done for laughs. It's actually kind of weird when you think about it. But it's actually, it fits.
Yeah.
It's in the lore, and it makes sense. And by the way, human beings, whether they're in fantasy form or not, are weird, really stupid people who will do things like this. If there's a system in place where, the female line carries it, you would get things like this. If we're all living underground in this place, another place.
Obviously.
And modern BioWare would not tackle this at all. It would be...
No.
Everybody's happy. Everybody's just, That's why you can't show Orzammar.
Yeah.
It's
everybody's happy, or it would be the Diamond Cast oppressing everybody.
Yes,
is what it would be.
Absolutely. There's a reason why you don't see Orzammar or Dwarven Kingdoms in... Well, you don't see them in 2 because it's too small of a game. In 3, you don't really see them because you're in the Inquisition. There's no real need to. But in Veilguard... You're combating the Blight and the Elven Gods. You should be seeing, these guys, because as the Legion of the Damned always say, a Blight is terrible for you. It's Tuesday for us. Like, we're here every day. They're always pushing, and our blades and backs make sure you get a rest between Blights. You know what I mean? Like, that's what,
and
that's so cool.
In Origins, Orzammar and the dwarves offer the appropriate vehicle to convey a in the true sense of the word awesome sense of scale. Because they're subterranean and the Darkspawn are... There's infinity Darkspawn, basically. That great cinematic sequence where there's thousands, countless hordes, like ants, like termites, and the archdemon is sort of flying through these massive caverns within the deep roads, beneath the earth. It's like, all right, that's cool as fuck. This is what we're up against, and to imagine that this is what the dwarves must stand resolutely against forever, all the time. It's like, okay, dwarves are now way cooler. You're way more bad. Even the most limp-wristed dwarf, way cooler. It puts over their culture, and of course their culture as I think is thematically appropriate for dwarves. In some ways, it's the aspects of it are the most loud and explicit and like codified, because that's very dwarven, angular stone codification. How the what do you become if you invent something great?
Paragon?
Are you an ant? What?
A paragon?
A paragon, that's right. The paragons being like the ancestor gods, ancestor spirits. That makes perfect sense. This the very codified caste system and the Oh god, I'm blanking again. The records that they carve on the stone.
Yeah, it's. I think that's it. Isn't it just called the records?
Yeah.
No, it's the
It's
memories.
something like
the
that.
memories, the shaper. The
Oh
shaper
yes.
The shaper.
The Shaperate, yes.
That's it, yeah.
Thank God. They're so good, and they're so appropriately placed within the Dragon Age world, and what they do in their relationship with the other species. Mostly, they have a relationship with the humans, as we understand it in Origins. This exchange, this sort of mutually beneficial, but mutually codependent exchange of lyrium and the Chantry regulating the sort of lyrium distribution. It's all very cool, and this mystery of the dwarves, they don't dream, so they can't use magic. What does that mean? Cut off from it, very, 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 very cool.
It is very
they are
funny
awesome.
Seeing Ogren come into the outside of Voiles Marv, and he's looking up like he's going to fall into the sky. It's like, that's quite funny.
Oh yeah.
He's never been there before. But like, I
I
guess...
played a.
Sorry, go on.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I had played a dwarven character in a recent roleplay game where he was one of his gimmicks is he wore ironclad boots to not fall up into the sky.
Absolutely.
Which obviously you need to do.
You've got to be
Weighted
safe.
boots.
You
gotta be safe. Getting lunatics up here.
I think we've kind of covered the commoner dwarves as well, because they're in this system and they naturally just came up. I think there's one stage where you go down into I think it's Dust Town, and you see a woman who's been disregarded because she had a baby with somebody who's the lower class than her, which basically means the baby is not the same class as the family.
It drags you down. You know, you get dragged up or down.
Yes.
Depending on...
if you want to know how evil you can be, we'll get to Connor later, but if you want to know how evil you can be, you can literally say to her, just leave it and go home. And if your persuasion is high enough, she'll do it. She'll be, oh, okay, I guess I'd better just expose this baby and go home. It's like, okay, cool.
Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah,
so like this is one of those games where they really did think of like... The Elven one is so funny as well when you go to the Elven, because I played my human noble was a bit of a talker, so he is he's Johnny King of Men, you know what I mean? He's like 6'4", whatever, and he's in an Elven village. They're all over him, and there's this like Kamen who's like he's such a little dweeb, and he's like, hey, she is my heart's desire, this girl. I don't know how to speak to her, and I'm like, I'll speak to her for her. I go over there and I'm like, you know what? That guy's really boring. Come in my tent. I'll show you a good time.
Yeah.
She's like, I really shouldn't do that. And you're like, oh, come on. He's okay, fair enough. And you just break this guy's soul. And you can actually say to him, I'm just trying her out for you. She's really good. Like, you're making the right choice.
Yeah, you should keep going with this.
You should keep going with this. Yeah. It's like, what the hell is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? But like, good games allow you to do this. And it's one of the things that, it doesn't make a good game. Now, I had this talk with Matt last time. I spoke to you guys jointly about Baldur's Gate 3, where I said, look, I don't enjoy Baldur's Gate 3 as a game. I applaud its reaction to the player, how it allowed you to do things that you never would have thought you could do. But the actual story itself is retarded and bonkers, and I don't like it. And the Netherplane thing, I just shut up. And you got these Githyanki, and and you can sense the you can have sex with everything, degeneracy. Just like
in a world where you could fuck a toad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
alien.
like a bear. Like Dragon Age does that. But it does it in a way that's like the world pushes back. Not everyone's going to want to sleep with you, unless you're my human noble character. Then
Then
as they say, if you're gay with George Clooney, it doesn't count. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. But like it is such a one of the first reactionary games. I know people will say Baldur's Gate, but not in the same way this game can allow you to be a colossal piece of shit.
Oh yeah.
speaking of which,
Yes.
let's
Indeed.
go over to the Isle of Redcliffe and let's go over to the Human Noble
Mm-hmm.
questline. So, did you play much of the Human Noble origin back in the day? Because I think we're going to be going to the Maker here as
Yes.
well. Okay.
I remember less of it than I do the Mage
Mm-hmm.
origin, but I have gone through it, and I do recall the conflict or the situation with Connor, the Arl of Redcliffe's son.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you could
Yeah.
you can make a number of different choices about what's going to happen to him.
You can, and I think the awesome writing is in the fact that all of it makes sense. All of it makes sense. If you
Yeah, all of it makes sense and it's all consistent. And you were
Yes.
mentioning the Arl of Redcliffe has links to the Mage origin. If you had done the Mage origin, you would already know who Jowen is at this point.
of course,
And he comes back, and it all goes to show just how prevalent these threats and these concerns are. In the case of Connor, we're talking about demons and the Fade, and that it's like I said before, this is not Templar propaganda. It's not like there's a demon possession in every town every single day, but this is a very real problem, a very real danger that could happen from the lowest of the low to among the highest of the high, the noble caste, as we see
yes.
with the Arl of Redcliffe.
I mean, the fact that. Oh, by the way, a shout out to Lady Isolde's performance. If you go all the way with Connor and you say the only way to cure this little boy's possession is to kill him, her screams, I can still hear them. That was a good performance. She really did a good job. There are ways to get everything that you want, as in if you go to the Mage Tower and you help them with their problem first, or even you say you get to a point in this quest line where you say, hey, we can get lots of lyrium from the mages, let's go help them out and then come back. That is the way to get everybody to live. I don't like playing it like that.
That's the good ending of
that,
quote,
I don't
unquote.
like playing it like that because it makes very little sense. Normally you come to Redcliffe first as well, because why wouldn't you? Because Alistair knows him, so you want to get the nobles on side. Only my dwarf character's gone all the way with Connor. That sounds wrong. But killing him.
Yeah.
And it still sort of worked because, and even Arl Eamon, when he wakes up, he says, I can have more sons. It's a terrible tragedy, and I'm really upset.
Yes.
But it was better to lose one child compared to the rest of my town and the rest of my thing.
My line and also my people and Ferelden.
Yeah. Exactly.
And humanity, because we're dealing with a blight here.
Exactly,
can continue and must continue.
Yeah.
And that is
it's
ultimately what matters. And that's a very noble... That is the mindset of someone who isn't just a character who is complex. That's a character who has true beliefs in a manner in which is consistent with a world that has values.
This is not a character or a problem that would appear in Veilguard.
Yes, exactly.
Arl Eamon would not appear in Veilguard saying things like this, because responsible men can be harsh and sometimes need to be, and that they don't belong in modern BioWare, and that's just how we are. I doubt things like that would appear in Inquisition, to be honest with you, even though certain parts of it, are okay. I love the Human Noble origin. It is my canon one. I love Mike Ice so much. He's so funny.
It's a great one.
Yeah, he's just... I don't think there's much else to say. Let's talk about the Maker. Well, we talked about the Maker, didn't we? We talked about the Maker and how it affects things.
I had mentioned the Maker. The thing about the Maker, the main thing I have to say about him is the sort of point I already made about this point about mystery versus non-mystery, explaining things and having a world that has objectively aspects and answers which are beyond human comprehension, which is very, very, very important, because that is literally, definitionally, how these things work and how a proper society operates. There is some very real instantiation of the transcendent. And in Origins, even though there was millennial writing even at that time,
Sure.
the real... It's kind of shocking how good the Maker and the Chantry are portrayed, because it truly is left open. The game and the writers are not really winking at you, and there isn't really a sense in which faith and belief in the Maker is merely a Machiavellian opiate of the masses kind of a thing. This crude scientific materialist argument where, okay, well, we have mages and magic is quite observably true because spells are being cast. We do not see priestesses.
We do see miracles.
We do see miracles, but they are appropriately miraculous. But what are they? Revered mothers and chanters are not casting lightning bolt and resurrection and cure light wounds. But they believe, and a big reason why this portrayal works, not exclusively, but a big reason is the character of Leliana, I think. She is a character who truly believes in a way that is not retarded, in a way that is not simplistic, and in a way she's not a comical zealot for the Maker. She has... And she gets plenty of pushback, mainly from Morgan. I was like, nope, this is what I believe. And she can have a crisis of faith, and you can depending on if you build the relationship with her. But it really is astonishing how good it is. And it's not just left to... Obviously, this is in many ways a kind of it's a gender-swapped Catholicism.
It is, yeah. Essentially. Essentially.
That's fine. That's, okay, we're living in a fantasy world, but there's a ton of depth in the way the Chantry works. You have the Templars and the female priesthood. You have the Chanters who can only recite passages of the Bible, basically, the divine chant.
That's so funny. You can get him to trip up when you're in Lothering.
Yeah.
Chanda says what?
Is that in a Leyland? Yeah, it's so good. And it is kind of amazing that they haven't explicitly said what the Maker is yet. I think the again, I haven't played Veilguard. My assumption is that the Maker, I bet you, I don't know if they've answered this in Veilguard, but I bet you what BioWare is, if they make a Dragon Age 5, which I hope to God they don't.
I don't think
they
are, but yeah.
I bet you the answer for what the Maker is, because Corypheus said that it was all the Black City was already black. It's the prison of those, what are they called, the Forgotten Ones?
Yes.
There was an even older civil war amongst the elven gods, and they were cast out. And that's what it would be, You know, lol, stupid humans with their dumb religions.
It was the elves.
Don't you just know that it was
all along?
All along,
we did
it was just a bunch of Cenobites.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think Chantry is one of those things that just kind of works.
Yeah.
Even in Dragon Age 2, where they really lean into priests are evil, there are still good people in the Chantry. The unfortunate thing is, in the Chantry in 2 onwards, it's polarizing. They're either all despots or all nice people.
Yes.
There's nobody in between.
Yes.
I am sick to the back teeth of the church was evil all along. Don't you know?
Yeah. Oh, you don't say. Yeah. The first time I'm hearing this from you.
Yeah. Just like, come on, dude. Like, it'd be a twist now to have a Catholic allegory in your setting that just is good. Like, that'd be like, whoa, okay, cool. How are you fighting that thing? That's cool.
Wow, a presentation of a church service or just a priest character or the church.
Yeah.
Where I don't hear the writer hyperventilating and seething through his teeth, shaking in rage.
Absolutely. So can we do some companions? No, we've done this.
Absolutely.
I would vote. I would vote, but I think we're going to start with Morrigan because you must start with Morrigan.
Well, maybe who is the best? Should we do who's the best character, companion, or otherwise, or who is the best companion character?
My
favorite. Let's not do best. Let's do favorites.
My response would be the same either way, and I don't think you'll see it coming. Okay. My favorite Sten.
Okay.
Because I think the reason why it's Sten is because he marries so well to the human noble male or female, but you know. Sten starts out. I love the line of, "Can you tell me more about your people?" No.
Yeah. Yes.
No, because I'm not in a fucking role-playing game. I'm a real person.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and you can't sum people up. Like, the elves are small, lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty. You can't do that, you know?
Yeah.
And he's right. And throughout the game, he's the only companion who really goes against you and says, whoa, why are we going up this mountain to find these ashes? The Archdemon's that way. You know, we need to go kill that thing.
Yeah.
And you need to prove your leadership to him. But the minute you do, he's not bitter. He's not angry. He goes, you know what? I'll follow. That's fine. I'll follow. I'm good. Right?
Yep.
And from that moment on, he's 100% Team Warden. Like, he's literally at your back for the entire thing. He opens up. He admires discipline. And he embodies...
Yes.
Do you know those gifts you can give to your companions? Sten really likes paintings. But not because they're pretty, because it takes great discipline to create something like that. You know?
Right.
He is extremely a noble...
He's like a warrior poet thing.
He's a warrior poet. Yeah. The one bad bit of writing with him is that he killed that farmhold and all the children as well. It makes no sense.
My sword, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. In interviews later on, his writer did say, "I wish I didn't do that because it just doesn't." Yeah. And in his canon, which you wrote for him, so technically it is canon. He said that just shrub that. Don't listen to that.
Yeah, let's pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah, pretend it didn't happen. Basically, he killed the farmhold owner, the farmer, right? And he woke up. Yeah, you know, it takes calculation to kill the women and the children as well. So like, why would you do that?
Yeah. And
he is all about discipline. He's all about redemption. And even when he speaks to your dog, like he everybody else just says stupid dog, whatever.
He respects the dog, yeah.
He growls at the dog on his own terms. So he wants to know the character of the dog. What's your character? And he'll give you a chance. That's what I love about him. He gives you a chance on your level. And if you don't need to be a massive warrior for him to respect you. You know, he's the embodiment of that samurai story of the samurai who's a great swordsman. He sees this priest threading a needle all the time. First time every time. And he laughs at him, goes, "Oh, he does that. Women do that kind of thing." He goes to war and comes back and then gets on his hands and knees and like begs him for forgiveness because he says, "Well, that's a skill I don't have. And I don't think I could ever do that with my fingers. So you deserve a lot of respect." That's Sten. That's how he is.
Yeah.
And
I think in many ways the Qunari stopped being after
Well,
Sten.
I will get into that later on. Sten
Yeah.
is the coolest thing about Sten, right? Aside from how he ends the game, because how he ends the game is awesome. Because my warden says to him, "Oh, can I come to the Canary Lands for a bit?" And he goes on a vacation, goes on a holiday with Sten.
Yeah.
And his line of like, he goes, "You are what we call a saint." The Canary word for a saint. And when one is declared, we have a. Do you celebrate when one's declared? Oh yes, we do, of course. Meditations are abandoned. We don't have classes until 3 p.m. It's madness. And it's just like, I love you so much, Stan. But like, the really, really, really awesome thing about him is you can change his mind. He's one of the only characters in Dragon Age Origins where if you start off as a female warrior, he will be like, "What are you doing here? Like, why aren't you wearing a dress? Like, why aren't you running a shop somewhere?" And by the end of the game, you've changed his mind, not because you whinged and moaned at him, but because you literally showed him examples of, like, here's how you change this. And what Sten is a culture that the writers don't agree with being shone a light on it. They shine a light on it and say, well, why are these people this way? And are these people evil? No, they're not, right? They just live in a different area of the world where they need to be this way. But we can all actually find common ground in kicking the shit out of some Darkspawn. That's why I love Sten.
Yes.
Sten's my bro. Sten is life.
Sten is great. And who or what the Kunari were very mysterious, but they were definitely a civilization, right? It's a very ordered way of living. Again, like you say, there's a very sort of samurai warrior honor culture aspect that comes through. In Sten, which becomes I've been watching more lore videos to get a sense of things, and there seems to be a of like Warhammer and 40k, and the Kunari from Dragon Age 2 onward seem very much like a sort of fantasy version of the Tau, if I'm understanding them correctly.
Yeah, not unfair.
The greater good, everybody sort of in their place. I do think there is a manner.
I will say that. They get a glow up in 2. I will say they look badass in 2. They look amazing.
I think some of their horns are maybe a little bit too exaggerated. But if they're supposed to be ogres, I do think that aesthetic choice by and large is an improvement. Which I basically can't say about anything else. The Darkspawn, which we've talked about, but the Kunari makes more sense that they look like this than what Sten looks like. Yeah, the Kunari and Sten is a very, very, very cool character. Only real ones appreciate Sten.
OG Sten.
A lot of people didn't use him or didn't talk to him because they thought he was just boring, which is not true.
He's also he's what a male noble needs, because my young Koostland was never expected to inherit, so he goes off the rails, he's sleeping with everybody, he's doing it. Sten is basically, he's lost his parents. Sten is his dad and his big brother. Discipline. He will give you discipline. You will be disciplined. Like, in my headcanon, he's making the warden march around with logs on his back like in Rocky, that kind of thing. He's literally...
Here you go.
He's training you.
He's like Mick.
Yeah, you will have discipline. He's just 7 foot tall. What they did to the Canary, again, this is how we're using this. We're using it as a jumping off point to talk about the rest of it.
Right.
In 2, they got a massive glow up. You're completely right. They went very commune, shall we just say?
Yeah.
In 2, but they are terrifying, and they do show.
Oh yes.
The Kyun gives people an out, so you'll have like elven criminals who go over to the Kyun. And they shelter from repercussions and things, and the Arashok's just like, it doesn't matter. Like they've taken the Kyun, it doesn't matter. Like they're no longer under your remit. I really loved the Canary. In 3, it's one of the big missteps of Inquisition. They literally just start the chiseling away of what the Qunari are.
Right.
You know, they start to realize, oh, we made these guys quite intolerant. Let's get Freddie Prinze Jr. to do something about that.
To be this roided out.
Yeah.
It's so. It's like, dude, you are not a follower of the Qun.
No.
The way you're behaving,
Yes.
and I know you're supposed to be sort of an insurgent here, but like, come on, like.
I mean, he
the
says
fuck-
so Cremisius, who's a well-written trans character. Who would have thought? In Dragon Age Inquisition. Now, the only bit that I went, ugh, was when you're standing there with the Bulls Chargers in the pub having a pint, and your character says, quite innocently, you know, so why do you dress as a man?
Yeah.
You know, because
Whoa.
yeah, and
He can do whatever he wants. Or
Exactly.
she can do whatever. I don't even remember.
No,
what the
he
fuck
says
it
he says she is a man. I'm like, dude, what did you just
is.
say?
Okay.
What did you
Okay.
just say?
It's man. Yeah.
It's
Or it's
man.
sir. Yeah.
It's man. And I'm just like, oh,
Fuck
God.
off.
Like the rest of
Fuck
his character, I'm like, okay, I'm down. I love Bull. He's great. But that shit
Yeah.
just made me
Yeah.
go, okay, I see where this is going. And then the only other Qunari you really see in the base game is an elf who, fuck off. And then of course it's an elf. And then you see them in Trespasser as well, acting like retards. And from that moment on, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
here we go. You know, they're all wearing everyone wears a bra.
Yep. It's
thinking about this makes me tired.
They can't help themselves. Yeah.
And don't get me started on Veilguard. Veilguard was, let's just rip the band-aid off now. Like Veilguard, they just went.
So
They're horned humans.
before we get to Veilguard, do you mind if I just refill this,
Sure, man.
This water real quick?
Sure, man.
Not
You
to
do
not
that,
to
you
give
do
some dead air here.
No,
right back.
I'll talk to chat whilst you're gone. So yeah, I'll get into that in a minute. How's everyone doing in the chat? Just got Dragon Age Origins on sale. Very excited. Yeah, dude, Masterman, don't. Well, watch the rest of the stream because you know the rest of the games aren't as good. 2 and 3 are okay. But yeah, don't worry about Veilguard. Don't play it. Smitty says that is the problem with the writers. In a world where you have people with those powers, as in mages, you need to find a way to control it. This liberal view that all control is bad is just bad writing for the setting. Dude, that's a really good point. That's such a good point. I'll bring that up when Nick comes back. When we talk about Veilguard, a bit later on. I think when we finish the companions, we'll talk about Veilguard. That photo's from the old lore. Okay, yeah, I think it was the old mage one. Okay. Origins is really cheap. Yeah, Dragon Age Origins. Okay, I need to say this right. If you've not played Dragon Age Origins, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, we need that needs to be remedied this instant. Go and get it on Steam. It costs like what, a couple of pounds. It needs to be on Steam. All right. I'm gonna whack the Discord in chat for people if you've not been on the Discord yet. But yeah, go get it on Steam. It is very. How much is it? Let me just check. I don't think it's a lot. I think it's like £2 or £3 now. Dragon Age Origins. It is £2.49 right now, dude. Dragon Age Origins is $2.49. You can get all of the good Dragon Age games for under £10. That's Origins 2 and Inquisition for under £10. They're 90% off. Treat yourself.
They're cheap.
Treat yourself. Ignore Veilguard. Yeah. I know it's under £20. Don't do it.
Don't do it, man.
Don't pay for it. It's by the way, I think they're giving it away for free on, like, I swear, on an EA launcher or something.
I think I heard something that it was like 80 or 90% off at Best Buy or something.
Dude, no one
That would
bought
be
this
so funny.
fucking thing, and you know what the worst thing is? It killed. Do you know what? We'll get into it in a minute. I want to talk more Morrigan's tits. We'll get into it in a minute. All right, let's do your companion. Let's do your companion. What is your companion of choice?
Yes. So, he technically is a companion, or he can be.
Huh.
So I'm going to count it as accurate and true.
Oh, I know. Yeah, okay. Cool.
My man, Ferelden's top guy, Loghain Mock Tyr.
Yeah,
The
man.
guy who was never wrong, never did anything
Nope.
wrong.
The guy who fought a civil war over a dog.
Yeah.
Those bastards killed his
Yes.
dog.
Yes.
I'm coming at
Such
you.
an amazing character. I think
Frenchies.
Loghain is the best written character, companion or otherwise,
Yeah.
in Dragon Age Origins, and he is apart from Leliana, embodies this thing I was talking about a character that truly believes a set of values, and has an appreciation in a different way than Leliana does, of course, of like the transcendent. This is a guy who knows what honor is, believes in it. It is an objective, metaphysical truth. Everything he does, even though he does questionable things, or you can disagree with the choices that he has made, the ends to which he was pursuing are completely understandable and completely in alignment with you talk about a masculine fucking Chad dude. You know, whether you think he was wrong for killing betraying Kaelin or whatever.
Well,
you know,
we do get an answer to that, and because we do
Yes.
find Kaelin's correspondence, and that he was going to set
That's
aside
true.
Loghain's daughter to marry the Empress of Orlais. Now,
that is
not
no
on,
bueno for Loghain.
Well, also,
And undone everything that we and Marek fought for.
yeah,
Let those fucking Orlesians back in here.
like
Those French.
also what he knows is the way that, at least at this point in the lore, it changed later on to make Kaelin more sympathetic. But at this point in the lore, just like the dwarves, the Orlesians, it carries on down the female line. So as soon as they have children in Orlais, they'll say, "Well, we own Ferelden because, you know,
Yes.
it goes from there." And Loghain knows this. He writes about it in game. He's like, "No, I can't let you do this." And he tries to talk him out of it so much, and he won't listen to reason.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as you meet Kaelin in Origins, you're like, "Okay, you're dead." Like, you're dead. And I think Loghain knows that. I think Loghain's like,
Yeah.
You're dead.
Kaelin is completely unserious
Yeah.
about what is going on here.
"You're dead." Like I love you, but I love my country
Yeah.
more. And Loghain,
Yes.
okay, right. I'm gonna get on my soapbox about Alistair for a sec.
Aha.
I like Alistair, don't get me wrong, but he's a fucking moron, and
Yeah.
he really irritates me because he doesn't get what it means to be a Grey Warden. And when you defeat
Yeah.
Loghain in the Landsmeet, you'll give Riordan, the Orlesian Grey Warden, who has every reason to hate Loghain because he's Orlesian and he's a Grey Warden, says, No. Let him be of use. Let him go through the joining. Right? Because
Right.
being a Grey
Right.
Warden isn't about personal feelings, it's about doing what's necessary. And through pride, Alistair says, well, being a warden isn't a punishment. It's an honor. No, shut up. Shut
Yeah,
up.
dude, shut the fuck
Like-
up. You're not hearing me.
Like, Duncan would have made the same decision to put this guy through the joining. Because
Yeah.
He unites the whole army behind him. Like, you've got
Yes.
Loghain, who is a Grey... Are you shitting me? That's like the whole peasantry are now frothing at the mouth to go to war, like, and be led by this guy. And it's just like, I don't get it. I just... The fact that this is the hill that Alistair dies on, because this guy got Duncan killed. Alright, I get that. I love Duncan. But,
Yeah.
Alistair, you knew Duncan for 5 minutes. Alright? I know you've got daddy issues, but this is the guy. This right here, this is the guy. And he sticks to his vows too, and he proves Alistair wrong in later games, because Alistair thinks, well, he's going to turn on us the minute he... No.
He doesn't.
He literally sticks to his vows. He's
Loghain
like, no.
remains a Chad from beginning to end.
I mean, he doesn't have much of a choice, because the Taint will, obviously wreck his body. He's going to go fight the Archdeacon either way. He's attracted to Darkspawn, and they to him. But he could have just gone AWOL, and he didn't. He stuck to it, and he turns up in Inquisition. He's there, and he's a Chad of it. There's nothing better than him turning up.
He's so good.
Him turning up in Awakening, and you've married his daughter, and he's asking where the grandkids are. You're just like, He's like, well, you want to get on that, you want to get on that, son, that sort of a thing. He's like, oh, Dad. Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah. And he is, again, another character who can't exist in Veilguard or in modern BioWare.
He can't exist in Veilguard. And Loghain also. I like Alistair, but this is part of the point I had made earlier about Alistair is still a millennial character with redeeming values, but left on a long enough timeline, the character of Alistair becomes Anders.
Yeah.
The existence of Loghain in comparison to Alistair really highlights Alistair's deficiencies as a character in the world, but also the writing, or it highlights how much of this millennial tendency, because Alistair is the kind of jokey, sarcastic, somewhat comedic with a heart of gold, millennial good guy. He is someone who is always what's the word? He is suspicious of authority, and he is perennially uncomfortable with the mantle of his destiny, whether that's becoming a Grey Warden, whether that's becoming King of Ferelden, if that's the way you play it with him. Alistair really changes very little. And Loghain is someone who understands authority and the power and responsibility and the goodness of rulership as such, of like masculine virtue in that way. You can, if you want to call Loghain a villain, fine, but that is, I think, undeniably the case. Would be Alistair would be way more interesting of a character.
We're not making the case that Loghain's not the villain. Like, he is.
Oh yeah.
But like, he is the quintessential. He's the hero in his own story.
And he fits more in the world of Dragon Age Origins than Alistair does. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
I mean, Richie, you are right. You can harden Alistair, but hardened Alistair will not accept Loghain being in the Grey Wardens. I've tried. He will not accept it. It's the one issue where you lose Alistair no matter what you do. If you accept Loghain into the Grey Wardens, Alistair cannot get around that. He cannot get around the fact that this guy's in the Grey Wardens. Now, I would say to people, it's the same thing of killing the Council at the end of Mass Effect 1, okay? So, if you're the kind of person... Again, it's very light of me to say, but if you're the kind of person who wouldn't accept Loghain into the Grey Wardens because of, like, some decisions that you made earlier on, when it would guarantee you victory almost, I do not want to follow you into combat, and I don't want you to be in charge of me if I'm ever in that kind of a situation. Same thing goes for the killing off the council in Mass Effect. It's not about hating aliens. It's about the fact that our absolute objective is the Reaper. It's sovereign. It's not protecting the council, right? So we save what we have to take down the threat. We've got a job to do. We're not here to be heroes. We're here to do a job and save the galaxy. If you can't see the wider picture, you shouldn't be in charge. That's it. Okay? Now, Loghain sees the wider picture. He makes the wrong conclusion. He doesn't actually. No, even then, I know he makes overtures to killing us, but even from his own, he's doing the right thing. He sees it as like, well, I need to get rid of these guys. They're like causing trouble, right? I need.
His whole thing is sovereignty for Ferelden.
Yeah, you need. It's a huge misunderstanding. And by the time he realizes how much of a threat the Blight is, let's be honest. Let's be fair. He doesn't have the insight that you and Alistair do. He's not a Grey Warden, right?
Right.
You know how big the Blight is. He doesn't. So, and he knows how vainglorious Cailan is. So he knows Caelan's probably made this up in his own head, and and it's one of the weakest parts of writing in Dragon Age Origins. Actually, when you say is the Grey Warden, like, well, why didn't they just tell everybody that it was an Archdemon definitely, and it was definitely a Blight? And
it's what they meant when they said there's a Blight.
yeah. Well, Alistair says, oh well, yeah. He said he could sense the Archdemon. What more do you want him to say? It's like, well, yeah, but it's one of them things. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's one of them things.
And it's been a long time since there's been a Blight, I think.
Yes, about 300 years. 300 years.
Yeah.
Like, I if you don't like Loghain, absolutely, I understand where you're coming from. It's the people who don't like Loghain and then say there's no reason to have him in the Grey Wardens. Those are the people I want to avoid in a combat situation. Like everybody, everybody else, I see where you're coming from. But the greater good, if you are a Grey Warden, it's about sacrifice. Dude, Duncan tells you this. He says, if you're a human noble, you've got to flee Arl Rendon Howe, and you can't get revenge on him until much later on in the game. Why? Because your duty comes first. The human noble gets that, Alistair doesn't, and that's why he's a terrible king, even if he's hardened. And yeah, and by the way, if you let Loghain join the Wardens, you know what Alistair does? Becomes a fat drunk. He goes away, he abandons you at the height of the war, and he becomes a fat drunk.
What a bitch.
What a bitch. Like, your family, your friends. By the way, he might have just met Goldana, his sister. Just leaves her as well. Just fuck him.
Yeah, that whole plot line with him. It's like, Jesus.
Guess they're dead now. It's like, cheers, Alistair.
Okay.
You're Marek's son. Can you imagine how powerful that would be? Marek's son and Loghain and the Grey Wardens and Honora all united against the Blight. But no, he has to take his ball and go home because we made the right call. Sorry, you got me on one there. I love Loghain as well.
Well, I think we've covered like Loghain and Alistair here.
Yes, basically. I like Alistair. I think he's a really well-written character, actually. But just like but also a bit of a tard. Like he.
There are some fundamental failures, but he is ultimately he's a good guy. A very well-written character. He's a good character.
He's also honest with himself. He knows he'd be a disastrous king. Like, he knows.
Yeah.
And he only wants to take it to get revenge for Duncan, which is not the best way to start off a kingship.
Yeah.
So, there are parts of Alistair that I get. I get that he's there because women like him as well, because he's goofy, wouldn't you know? He's one of these characters.
Yeah.
But,
wow.
Well, I guess we'll go on to Morrigan next, because I can't go another second without talking about my
another
beloved.
second. Morrigan is another example. If she was written any later, would be the worst, insufferable kind of trash. Morrigan is, in many respects, the most Morrigan and Zevran are the two most, millennial coded.
It could have gone wrong
It could have gone
very easily.
way wrong. Morrigan is saved as an interesting character despite those aspects of her DNA, right? By the time period in which she was written, and the fact that she actually has a fairly singular, consistent goal, which is ultimately power, more or less. But she's sort of so defined by it that, or so she sticks so singularly to that ultimate thing of like knowledge and power. A mage pursuing knowledge and power is it's a very tried and true thing that works.
Dude, they do it
Right.
4 times in this series. Oh, the mage was using you all along.
All along.
But at least in Origins, you get to bang her as well. You know, it's one of them things. It's fun.
That's true.
When it comes to Morrigan, I do think you kind of need to be a male warden to get the most out of Morrigan. Because she becomes a much different person. Because she goes for the male warden immediately. Like, literally, she's on him like white on rice. Like,
For reasons you will discover by the end of the game.
Yes, there will be reasons later on. But she sort of accidentally, if it goes that way. Now, you can just get into a fuck buddy relationship. That can be how it happens. Like, you just go into that sort of a thing. But quite naturally, Morrigan develops feelings as time goes on. Unless you shut it down, of course. Which the game always gives you the option to do, which I love, and it's great.
Right.
It's also great, like the banter when you're running around, and if your character's also with Leliana at the same time, they're just so catty and so like just having a go at each other. If you have Zevran there as well, he's just egging them on, just laughing at them. Like, this is so funny.
Obviously.
So like, she is a really weirdly complex character, and when you understand that she's been brought up by Flemeth, basically abused when she was a kid, beaten, you trained to be the ultimate mage, to be this Machiavellian nightmare of a person. It's a miracle she's even as functional as she is, and kind of shows her strength of character, I suppose, that she's functional. She's funny. Like most of her lines are very, very clever, and also she's kind of a bitch. Like, she's absolutely some of the stuff she tries to get you to do and say is just like, what the hell is wrong with you? You can actually, even if you're in a relationship, you just call her a harpy once because it's just like, will you shut up? Like, what are you? Why would you say that? You know, he's just all of them, all ruthless things. When you go to like Redcliffe, she's like, why are we doing this? Why are we helping them?
Yeah.
It's like, well, the zombies are here. Yeah, but we're not in a fairy tale. Like, we just leave. Just leave. The castle's right there. Why are we doing this? And you're like, that's a good point.
Ah, Jesus.
I'm kind of acting like I'm the lead character in a video game here. Yeah, that's kind of a good point.
Joke's on you, bitch. I am a main character in a...
No, take off your clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, in later games, she becomes she's not into. In Inquisition, she's. Oh, did you have the baby with Morrigan in the end? In most of your playthroughs?
I obviously am taking that deal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course.
Yes.
That is one thing. Ladies, I understand. BioWare did you rotten, and it's so funny in Origins where the only way you can survive is by doing the dark ritual with Morrigan, obviously, conceiving a child. You know, and as a man, even if you're like dating like Leliana, it's like, oh, I have to sleep with the hot goth. Okay, I guess I'll make that sacrifice. No. You know what I mean? You know. Whereas if you're a woman, obviously she can't have a baby with you, so you've got to let Alistair go and do the deed.
Oh yeah.
With somebody who has hated you the entire game.
You can stay on the cuck chair.
It's like wow. Okay, cool. I'm not sure.
Well, the issue with
I don't think he will. I don't think Loghain does it.
I don't think Loghain.
No, he does. He does.
Does he really?
Yeah, there's dialogue in Inquisition where Kieran, you'll ask about Kieran's father, and there is dialogue where it's Loghain, and she says, "Yeah,
Huh.
yeah." So you can, if you get Loghain, which also means, by the way, if you're a female Grey Warden, you've lost your romance because Alistair leaves if you get Loghain. So that's either way,
Right,
you're screwed
yeah.
if you're a female Grey Warden. If you want to keep Alistair, you're to yourself. There we go.
What's funny about Morrigan in Inquisition, because you're right, she's not in 2. I think she's referenced in 2, but she's not. She doesn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
Is there's not. I don't think the writers really know what to do with her. And I also am kind of at a loss. If you're going to have her show up again, keep showing up, and obviously you are, if for no other reason, that she's the most iconic. It's her and Leliana.
Yeah, those are the two.
But Morrigan is like, she's on the cover and,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. They knew what they were doing.
She doesn't really have anything to do in Inquisition. I know she's not a companion character, and yes, she somehow becomes the magical advisor of the Empress of Orlais, the most coveted position. It's like, okay, but doing what and to what end?
Mm-hmm.
It's not really clear. They, and at least in my play, because I think I only played through Inquisition once, and was building off my human mage who did the dark ritual. Anyway, she's like, it's like she's it's very funny. It's kind of very appropriate. Art imitates reality. She is the sort of bitchy, sardonic, goth millennial chick who is now completely contrite for her college years and her 20s, and trying to kind of do a trad thing, but failing at it and not knowing how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's well written.
Yeah.
The one thing I love is, like, if you ask her to write to the hero for Eldin, she will. In Inquisition, she was like, yeah, okay, I'll write to him, but like, you do realize he's now going to think I miss him, and he's going to be insufferable about it. It's like, yeah, I know my human rebel will be insufferable about it, because but like, with Kieran, the God Baby Child, I always thought in my head, okay, that's the protagonist of the ultimate Dragon Age game. Like, that's the guy you go with. If you want to go ultimate badass, like power fantasy, Ciri from The Witcher sort of a thing, that's the guy.
Yeah.
You know, or girl. You make that character. Problem is that they're almost always human, because obviously, and it should be closing off a lot of things.
Ends up,
you know,
what ends up happening with Kira? Or I know you have a choice, right? I think Flemeth can take the soul of the.
Don't think you get a choice. I think she does it either way. She takes the god soul from Kieran, and he becomes a normal boy, and that's it. He's not really in the story from then on in. And then, of course, Solus then steals her power at the end of Inquisition. Yeah,
steals Flemeth's and
whatever that is, old god's soul, whatever. And the
implication is what? That the archdemons are either fallen elven gods or
related
they've got to be the forgotten ones, right?
You know, something like that.
The souls. There's the souls of elves. You know, right?
Stupid
old as fuck.
Elves bullshit again. Well, like, again, from then on in, Morrigan sort of loses her agency. She doesn't really belong in Dragon Age after Inquisition. To be frank,
and the whole thing with the temple or the well of Mythal is it's unclick. I don't even remember what it's supposed to be, because Flemeth gets her shit taken by Solus.
It's the accumulated
but the implication is that she becomes a vessel for Mythal?
No, it's the accumulated knowledge of the elven people in the Well of... So if you drink from it, you get that. And also you become marked and basically linked to Mythal. Which isn't a problem in the end, because Mythal obviously dies at the end of Inquisition. Morrigan kind of fucks herself because she wants to be independent from her mother without realizing Mythal is Flemeth. In Veilguard, this is the first character who actually, Loghain kind of does, but he's mentioned in Veilguard.
Does Morrigan show up in Veilguard?
She does. Would you like to see what Morrigan looks like in Veilguard?
Yeah, man.
It is unfortunate because
yes.
that bitch that you were describing earlier. I have.
God, I dread to see this.
I have something to show you, my friend, and it's not as bad as people make it out, but it is like it ain't my Morrigan. Let me put it that way. It is.
I'm sure that's true.
It is a plasticine version of Morrigan, if anything. Like
Yeah,
I've
man.
seen this girl in like a metal club, like a heavy metal club, who's just looking at you like you're a piece of shit. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Because she's into all of these bands that you've never heard of, you know. And she keeps going to the DJ saying, "Can you put on Dead Baby Fetus, please?" And she's like, "What? I don't even know what that is. But I'm playing Limp Bizkit." Oh, so casual.
Yeah, man. Let's see here. Morrigan. Oh my god, dude, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look what they did to my girl! Holy shit, look at that fucking face.
Two other things have had a downgrade as well. Don't know if you noticed that. But,
Yeah, that chick looks fucking beat, man. That's
life
rough.
has not been kind toward Morrigan. Like,
Holy shit.
the hero Ferelden has divorced her and has moved on to probably Liliana by now.
Is paying child support, is now
Probably.
living in a trailer park in New Mexico.
He's not
Yeah.
paying child support. Like, hero Ferelden would have come and got his boy and be like, "We're going to see Uncle Sten. Screw this bitch."
Holy fuck,
Like,
dude.
Yeah. That is
They
where we are.
can't help themselves.
No.
I'm
And
just
she-
trying to imagine. I forget the actress's name, Claudia Black.
Claudia
or something.
Black,
Yeah, her voice coming out of that fucking thing.
Mm-hmm. Dude,
Holy
you
shit.
can tell she's like, "Oh, I'm doing this again. Okay. Yeah, it's me, Morrigan. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
here."
to be
and-
Morrigan. Say the word "tis" again, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or like have really weird inflections. Liaison.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like, yeah, fucking shut up.
What are you?
Anyway, that is Morrigan. I'm not going to say what she does in the game because, quite frankly, I don't care.
Does it even matter?
No, she has no business being in that game at all. Like, she has no business. All right, next on the lineup, should we do Liliana to round out the hot babe?
Yeah, why not?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Well, since
I
Liliana's
love
more
Liliana.
your wheelhouse, let's go. What do you think about Liliana?
Yes. I think Liliana is great. I think she's, especially in Origins, she's great.
Mhm.
One of the great vehicles for conveying the depth and the belief of the world. She has it's a great portrayal of faith. It's a great portrayal of someone who's in this for a sort of higher purpose. It's like it becomes such a debased word, but she's a complex character in a good way. That is not merely mistaking complexity for quality. She has a lot of change based on the things which happen. You and your relationship with her can result in her becoming a number of different kind of personality types. I think Liliana
Absolutely.
is awesome.
Yeah.
This sort of repentant, not merely an assassin, because it's like geisha, like French geisha assassin chick, repentant, became a nun, basically, and believes that the Maker has spoken to her.
We
and
do
is
get a
meant for a
confirmation
great
that he's
destiny.
not, don't we? We get a confirmation from the if you're taking the Guardian of the Ashes as being real and being linked to the Maker, he does tell Liliana like, "No, you're full of shit." Basically, he does say to her like, "Why do you say the Maker speak to you? He only spoke to Andraste. Do you think you're her equal?" That sort of thing.
That's a cool thing where she's like has her own kind of like kind of heretical opinion about
Yeah.
the Maker all to herself, but then can become Pope.
Yeah. I forgot about that. I forgot about that. Yeah, and she's the worst.
I think she
as a Pope.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Oh my god.
The stuff that makes her cool in Origins and interesting becomes sort of shaven off in Dragon Age 2 and in most of Dragon Age, well, no, I guess in all of Dragon Age Inquisition. There's like, okay, let's can we channel all of the things about that character into this brief one-liner?
Yes.
This brief bullet. She's like, okay, she survived the Fifth Blight and is now convinced that her vision of the Maker is correct, and so now she's just a zealot. And so she's going to lean back on her bard origins and become the Pope's assassin, the Vatican's secret police. This sucks. Now we're doing a jump the shark thing.
Yes.
Can we just have her be a Vatican ninja? Like, could we? I don't know. Could we have not done that? You know, that would have been more preferable, I think.
I like how if you take Leliana out of Dragon Age Origins, you lose a lot from other characters. Sorry, I'm just looking at her quest now. Just having a look, see if I can see. Okay. So yeah, and I wanted to make sure that you. I don't think you can change much of what she does in Inquisition, because in Inquisition, she's fucking weird as a character. Like she goes.
She sucks. The only thing you can
goes
choose
crazy.
is to make her the divine or not, right?
Yeah,
I think.
Well, she's. You do get the choice of whether to harden her like you can with Alistair.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you're right. You're
but
right.
it's made in such a weird way. Like it's one conversation you have with her when she's dealing with a traitor to the Inquisition, and you say, you know, I'm glad to see traitors are dealt with swiftly, and she'll go down that route. And if you say maybe we should let him off and go down that route, and that's it, right? And I think there's one or two other areas where you can say things, but she becomes a very cold, calculating, miserable person in Inquisition.
Yeah. Yes.
That I didn't like being around. Now, I don't have anything against characters like this being in games, like, fine. But that's not who Leliana was. Like, Leliana
That's not who that character is. You're completely right.
No, it just... I don't mind that character being in Inquisition, but like Leliana should be doing something else, you know? Ideally with her feet in the air, if you're going to go by who Leliana actually is.
Yes.
But, like, she is a really cool character in Origins because it shows somebody trying to find their place in the world, and... Yeah, right. Origins has a smorgasbord of characters who tell you about the wider world, and she's one of them. About Val Royeaux, her waking up every day to the sound of bells and the chant is like sounds amazing. And then you got like Zevran talking about Antiva and like just whoring and the you know how it is. It's basically Spain on steroids and Viagra, which is hellish if you think about it. But,
Spain is bad enough.
Yeah, you got. Sten, who is, you know, obviously from the Qun, and he talks about his culture. So, like, she is really important in Origins, and again, she turns up at the end of 2, with Cassandra, and I liked where that was going. Thinking, okay, as you said, she's going to be some sort of assassin or some sort of really cool agent for the Chantry. I like that. Cool. Maybe they've cynically lent on her belief that she's chosen by the Maker, and that's how they got her involved. That'd be really cool. They don't. She just becomes part of the Inquisition and is just your spy master with some fucking. And
it is a completely different character. She's there because people remember Leliana as a character.
Absolutely.
But as you say, even before you either harden her heart or make her a little bit more optimistic. It's so it's one of these things where they can't help themselves, because Leliana in Origins, by this point, she's done a lot of shit already. She's killed people, been homeless, given up everything. She's nevertheless, even at the beginning of Origins, one of the most both cultured, thoughtful, and like truly open-hearted people in a way which is not naive. Leliana is not a naive character.
No.
She is the person whose soul burns the brightest in her. Come around to the beginning of Inquisition, even at the beginning, that light has just completely gone out and been replaced by only cynicism, negativity, social calculus, and like this like crude black pill utilitarianism.
Yes. Yes.
Which is so, it's just that's so miserable to have any character, you know, being around you that just is that way. But it's especially like inappropriate to have that be the personality of Leliana.
It is miserable in the extreme, and
yes,
off-putting, and she's the only character who you can't really change in Inquisition.
Yeah.
Like, her mind is set. That's who she is now, and that's it. And as somebody who, I didn't romance Leliana, I think I did once or twice, but as somebody who like came from Dragon Age Origins, her being unrecognizable in Inquisition hits that little bit harder too, because you were really fond of that person. It's like you've lost them. But in a way, I don't know if you've had this in your life, Nick. I certainly have. When you're younger, or I have friends I had in my early 20s, and I've met them after university, after I've become a father, after I've become a teacher, and I see them years later, and I think, holy shit, you fucking suck now. Like, what happened? Like, you literally... And I've had people say that to me, because I've gone... You know, obviously I went to university, and everyone there is very liberal, very this, very that. And then they speak to me and my views on things, and I would consider myself quite, probably mainly in the centre, right-leaning. But, like, they look at me as if I'm some sort of alien who's just, like, what did you do with North? Like, well, it's me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm responsible. Like, I pay my taxes. You know?
Yeah.
Shock horror.
Yeah.
You know.
I know.
And that's Liliana. In a weird way, it works, because we haven't seen her since Origins, really, and then she's changed by the time we see her again. And it sucks. But maybe that's the point. You know?
Yeah.
People change.
So I agree with you, and I've had that happen in my life for sure. But what I would say, I understand what you're saying, and in the real world that does happen. There are gaps. We haven't seen her, but we are talking about a fictional universe, and in some respect, these things have to be dramatically prompted in some way, or it just there's literally no way of knowing if this is supposed to be a realistic, good faith interpretation, or just a new writer trying to totally subvert the character. I think you do need a little bit of a breadcrumb trail and like prompting, because this is a fictional world. I absolutely could see Leliana becoming a more hardened person to some degree, and especially in the aftermath of the thing blowing up, the Divine is dead, and the Conclave or the Peace Treaty is over, and
I think Richards makes a really good point. Leliana's transformation is what happens to Liara in Mass Effect 2, and I agree. But also, what happens to Liara in Mass Effect 2 and 3, she is a different person, but it's done in a much better way. Like, she's still Leliana. Sorry, she's still Liara. It's going to get confusing.
Yeah.
But she's got that hard edge now. She's got that. She's seen some shit, but she's still.
Yeah, she's just with Liara. She's just grown up. To your point, to your example, like Liara isn't a miserable
bitch. Yeah.
Miserable.
Yeah.
Depressed bitch.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
holy shit.
You redheads unite, I suppose. Another redhead is Ogryn. I think we can spend a little.
Ogryn.
Maybe the least amount of time on Ogryn because
who he is pretty self-evident.
He's a dwarf, man. That's what Ogryn is. There's a reason why when he turned up in, everyone was like, BioWare said, "Oh, there's a companion returning for Awakening." And everyone went, "Ooh."
Yes.
Then he turned up and it was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, this guy."
God.
Okay, I don't have anything against Ogryn. I just genuinely think he's not that interesting. He's he doesn't have any opinions about or any connection to dwarven culture, which are the things I find interesting. He just doesn't care. Like,
his biggest thing is that he's a simp and a cuck.
Yeah, he's a simp and a drunk.
Like, you know, I don't care how many people you kill, how much you could drink. You're kind of like a pussy.
Yeah, he's like
oh, maybe Bronco will let me like fuck tonight. But probably not.
Maybe she'll let me touch it if I just go along with this Anvil of the Void thing. And it's like, not only did she leave, she left you for a woman, man. That's ooh.
Yeah.
It's like, go down that kind of worms,
dude.
But the thing I don't like about him is that every single time you try to like bond with him, and that sounds weird, but every time you say, "Hey, Ogryn, what's going on?" He's like, nothing. And then you go, "All right, okay."
Okay.
And then he'll go, wait, you don't care about how I feel. What the fuck? You're a man.
You said that nothing was going on.
You're a man.
Yeah, fucking asshole.
Like, just be open with me. Don't be passive aggressive. What the hell's wrong with? No one she left.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
like, holy shit.
It's like,
yeah, I really don't like Ogryn. I think he's just a comedic character.
Yeah.
He's written for the yucks. And that's fine. That's fine. I have nothing against that. But again, I don't think there's much going on. And the only thing, the core aspect of his character is, you've been simping for too long.
I mean, like, there is a thing there. Like, they could have done more with him in showing, like, dude, basing your self-worth around whether a woman likes you or not is a terrible foundation for building just happiness of any sort.
Imagine what they could have said.
Even back then, they just didn't give a shit. They just treated him as a joke. And maybe it's a good commentary on male mental health. I don't know, but they didn't look at it at all. And you get to examine Leliana's pain and Morrigan's pain, but you don't get to examine Ogryn, right? He's just a joke. And
doesn't Ogryn have a kid?
He does.
That you find out about?
Yes. He does with
you
this.
Meet her at
woman.
Lake Calenhad or something.
Yeah, but even that's really easy to miss because you get him. You're supposed to. You can do him any order you want. You're kind of supposed to treat Orzammar as the final dungeon to make sure you're ready to go. You know what I mean? That kind of a thing. There's a reason why you see the Archdemon marching out in that quest.
Right.
Because he's going to. And so you get Ogryn relatively late, and then by that stage, it's kind of like the Legion effect in Mass Effect 2. It's like, you're here, but I don't care. I've got to go do this suicide quest thing. I don't care. Whatever. I like your Legion, but, And then people are like, oh, you're going to cry when he dies? No, he's a machine. I don't care.
No.
Why would... Shut up.
Oh, no.
What about this entire race of people? Yeah, oh, no. All of our toasters are gone. It's like, fuck it. No, shut up. Does this unit have a soul?
A bunch of beeps and boops.
Does this unit have a soul? No.
No. Let me stop you right there. This is very
Stop
easy.
you right there, sunshine. Put your face onto this nozzle, thank you. Right, there we go, problem solved. I've seen this movie. No, like, with Ogryn, it is very much like they just sidestepped. Like, oh, that's male trauma. Psych. sidestep that.
Yeah,
Let's go to the next guy.
right. Yeah.
So we're here for you, Ogren. You know, he's not.
What's
a bad
funny
guy,
also
but-
is again, I guess you could say this with pretty much every character. But imagine if Ogren were written for the first time by the time Inquisition comes out, which is like right during the Great Awakening,
Oh, right.
2014, right?
Yeah.
It would be that. It would be like he would be more. I think they'd be basking in like the patheticism of.
Dude, I don't want to see a dwarf cry.
Yeah.
No,
I don't want to see
I
anybody
couldn't handle
cry.
this. I couldn't handle this.
I don't want to see a man cry. I don't want to see a woman cry. I don't want to see crying. Enough with all the crying.
Dude, you
Holy
have not.
shit.
So me and the missus on a tangent because we've only got 2 characters left, so we're going to finish in this sec. But like, me and the missus saw the first part of the Stranger Things finale last night, and it's one of those where we've watched it all the way through. So now we've got to like, okay, we're there now, whatever.
You gotta finish it.
Yeah, and okay.
I've not seen the show.
Okay, good. Well, you're not going to see it, I suppose. You're not going to. No.
Probably not.
Okay.
My impression is that it's not a good show.
Well, let me describe this to you, and then we'll see whether you want to. So they're about to go fight the big bad, and everyone's gearing up. It's like a side quest. All the side quests are done. Everyone's geared up. The whole crew's ready to go. You got the really badass characters and really not so badass, but everyone's geared up. And one of the characters says, and this character is the most whiny, pathetic. He's always crying. Everything's always a melodrama with him. It's Will, for those of you in the chat who want to know. And it's been very obvious that he's gay throughout this entire time, right?
God.
And the issue is, the main bad guy uses what you're most afraid of against you. You know where this is going, right? He's not come out yet. He's not come out yet. So right before we go fight the big bad, there is a 15-minute scene where he won't get to the point. He just keeps circling around the fact that he likes dudes over and over and over again. And everyone's on tenterhooks like, what's he going to say? I'm like, what the fuck do you think he's going to say? and like, he says, oh, I don't like girls. And everyone goes, oh, we accept you. And they all start hugging. The only 2 characters who don't like are like the most based ones are just in the back, like with their arms folded, like, what are we doing here? Like, like this is fucking stupid.
Hell yeah.
And
that's funny.
And I'm just like, we spent 15 minutes, and I'm just like, nah, dude. Like, I'm gonna
this
watch.
whole rigmarole.
I've got to watch how it ends because I'm in it now. But like, dude, fuck this guy. Like, honestly, I understand it's the 80s and it wasn't a done thing then. Okay, right, cool. But like,
I get it. But why do you have to waste my time?
Now, like, we're about to go, right? Like, just fucking go. Like, we.
There also weren't sci-fi portals or whatever the fuck is going on.
Well, yeah, exactly. Vaginas in the sky, or whatever.
In the 80s.
All right, so speaking of vaginas in the sky, let's do Zevran next.
Zevran.
So another character.
This is Zevran is a BioWare staple, which is the token gay character, the mincing queen character, right?
Glorious
This is the guy who the character who's going to fuck anything, right? Because I think he'll, or no, does he only fuck you if you're?
No, he fucks everybody.
Yeah,
no, he fucks everybody.
I think it's everybody, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he can have a threesome with him, a foursome actually, with him.
That's right, there's a brothel or
Leliana, Isabella, and him. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to.
I'd say yes.
I always kick him out. No, they're both mine. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna... again, ace game.
This is another comedic relief character.
Yeah.
You really don't get a lot about the world from Zevran, other than, I guess Antiva really is Ninja Spain.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's Spain, but there's a bunch of assassins out there.
I do like we do examine slavery with Zevran. And
do we?
Yeah, because he's bought for like 2 sovereigns when he's a child, and he's brought up by whores.
Oh yeah.
So like he explains all that. His stories about his assassinations are really funny. Like some of the ones like he has that chick who he's supposed to kill, and then he ends up banging her, and she goes, "Will you go and talk to the crows on my behalf?" And he goes, "Of course I will." And she falls over and breaks her neck on the way out, and he's like, "Ooh."
Like, oh, whoops.
Well, he goes back and like, you made it look like
sometimes things just work themselves out.
yeah. So like the typical assassin, schmaltz. But I think he is he's a cool character. Like, did you know he's the same voice actor as the male Inquisitor in Inquisition?
Really?
Yep, same voice actor, same guy, John Curry.
I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, he's a very good.
How
voice
about
actor.
that? I guess. Yeah.
One other thing that's really cool is if you are the human noble, you get to hear more of Tim Curry, who is obviously in bad health right now. Tim, we love you. Get better soon, hopefully. But he is Alrendon Howe, so you will hear a lot more of him. Pennywise the Clown, for those of you who aren't initiated. Or if you played Red Alert, the guy with the amazing space line.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is
Shakespearean actor.
He's the Soviet president.
Yes.
Premier.
Yes. Did you know Gina Carano's in that as well?
Who is in it?
You know Gina Carano is? She was in
Is she?
Yeah, she's
Red
in
Alert
Red Alert.
3?
Yes, she's one of the Soviet guards of Tim Curry. Standing behind him. She's like 19. She's just standing behind him with a bikini
Hold
on.
on.
It's hilarious.
Need to pause this conversation. Holy shit, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this chick. You see her? Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know this was Gina Carano.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So
she was so young back then.
Dude, yeah. It's the fact that they got a Shakespearean actor to do that, and then
God, we used to be a country.
Yeah,
we used to have.
Yeah. Like he just couldn't like. So they had the guy from Star Trek as the shogunate leader. What's his name? George something.
Oh, George Takei.
George Takei, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was just so like, "Hello, it's me." You know, like
it's me.
If he wasn't Japanese, it'd be so racist. Whereas like the fact that he's doing it, and he's the whitest Japanese man ever. So technically, he's like just aping this really ridiculous accent. But so
Command and
funny.
Conquer is so fun.
It's so funny.
I want a return of like scenes with actors. We had Michael Ironside.
Yes.
Command and Conquer.
Dude, we need a wing commander, all that kind of stuff. We need a
Ray Wise. Ray Wise is the president in Red Alert.
Yes.
2.
I remember when Wing Commander used to just go and get porn actresses for every like female role, whatever, because they were just cheap. And they look good in a jumpsuit. So like, yeah, I mean,
literally all we need.
Yeah, literally all we need. So Zevran is cool. We like Zevran, and he turns up in 2 for a bit and then goes away. But
for like a mission or something. It's very interesting that it I think the writers may never admit it, but the shtick of Zevran as being the horny comedic relief character, it's like, okay, BioWare, we know you're going to do that and people are going to like it. However, you may not like it, but mostly it's straight dudes who still play your games.
Yeah.
And so I bet you not enough people liked Zevran, so let's just do that and call her Isabella. Let's have it be a huge-titted pirate queen.
Let's give in.
Let's have her be even more loose and more horny.
Hell yeah.
And
that's my girl. That's my girl.
And there you go. And that is how... Let's have wouldn't it be funny if she gets the clap in Dragon Age 2 and then
that's the only thing Anders is good for. He gives her some pills, and that's it. like
BD.
I love like Zevran is just one of those. Like, I mean, my warden even bangs Zevran because you're just like, yeah, why not? You know, I'm free right now. It's Tuesday. Why not? You know, I think my male warden isn't even bi. He was just like, you know, it's there.
There's something to do. It's lonely in that camp.
It's something to do. Morrigan's not speaking to me right now, and Liliana's somewhere. Let's just do this.
Yeah.
And the thing is, how cool Zevran is. He goes, yeah, all right. Yeah, he's that kind of a character. He's like, and by the way, he is like the coolest. Like, if you like break his heart, he goes, no, I respect your boundaries. It's cool. It's all good. Like, and if you are straight, and Zevran like comes onto your character and you go, no, I don't want to do that. He goes, okay, no problem. Everybody else
Right.
in Bioware games acts like you've just killed their puppy. It's like, and everyone's just like, no. It's cool. Yeah, you don't like dicks.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all good.
What do you mean you said no?
Yeah. Don't you know when you're progressive, you have to
Yeah.
always say yes? It's like, okay,
Don't you understand this isn't about you?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Ladies, if he proclaims to be an ally of yours, run the opposite direction and don't look back.
It's not about love, Warden. It's about power.
Yeah. I think our last one is Shale. Did you ever play with Shale? Our last character?
We have Win too.
Oh, Win as well. Yes, Win. Well, let's do them both because they end up together. Not like that, I don't think, but they do end up together in Awakening.
Yes, I did get. I don't remember where you got Shale. It was like a day one DLC, I think.
Yeah,
Shale.
you might.
I feel like probably everybody had it.
Of Honleaf.
You telling me you're not going to have a golem in the party? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Shale is interesting. There are some irritating comedic aspects of sort of Shale's writing that are it's like they become meme worthy. You know, the pigeons, the birds. You know, all right. Yeah, I get it. You're a statue. Birds shit on statues.
Oh yeah.
But very cool character. We learn a lot about the dwarves, and a very cool, sort of surprising, like resolution to that character. When if you bring Shale with you into the Deep Roads to find the like crown of or to find where the fuck is the anvil?
The Anvil of the Void.
Something or other.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a very, very, very cool exchange where you learn what actually was You meet the first golem, an old ancient paragon from a long, long time ago. Learn about Shale's history. That's right. Yes. Yeah, I love Shale, and I always had Shale with me. My party with my mage. I always had Morgan. I usually had Morgan and Shale with me, or Leliana and Morgan with me. Shale could definitely take a punch.
She was. She's one of those characters where, like, it's brilliant writing sometimes. Like the comedic stuff, I can give or take. But there is some comedic stuff where I was like, dude, that's great. But when you give her her crystals for the first time, she's like, yeah, they're very slimming. They appear to be slimming. Could you place them in a vertical pattern? Did you know? Did you know to do that? like little things. Or she's just like, she just doesn't get like everybody else's issues. She's like, no, I want to kill things, dude. I'm like, you shut up. Like, let's just go.
Yeah, I mean, Shale's emotions have long since been erased. Or like human dwarf. Yeah. Living. Shale is like a robot, or more like a Data character.
Yes. You can kind of come on to Shale as well, which is hilarious. Like, but in a jokey way. You're just like, I just never noticed. You look kind of more attractive for those crystals. She's like, no, fuck off.
Don't know how this would work or where it's going, but I thought you should know.
Yeah, we're off to a rocky start. Hey.
Yeah. But I like Shale.
I like Shale as well. So shall we do Win as like a
Win?
A closer?
Yes.
Sorry, Win. Sorry, you're last, but like you are.
Yeah.
Oldest, so.
Well, I mean, it is apropos. I think I kind of feel bad for Win. I think Win is the most boring character, but I think that's me being a little bit unfair. Unfortunately, Win, for me, I always kind of forget about her.
If she wasn't a healer, I'd never take her.
Because she's a healer.
Yeah.
She's an old woman. There is very interesting things going on with her, which you learn if you develop out her her loyalty, or whatever the hell it's called. Because we learned that Win is basically dead.
Yeah.
Right? And I forget what spirit she has bonded with, but she is technically a Maleficar. She's technically an abomination.
Or something. I think it's compassion or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's something good though. I don't think it's something either neutral or good. She's one character you can't
Right.
romance that, like, when she speaks to Alistair and she teases him about, you wouldn't be the first young man I'd take into my bed. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that'd be such a cool, like a really rare romance. Just having this, like, old woman. It's like this old
Yeah.
spinster. It's giving her the time of her life. Like, that'd be awesome. You know? But, yeah, I think she's a
Spirit
cool
of
character.
Faith.
Spirit of Faith,
I
okay.
was just-
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
cool.
She is cool.
She's technically the first one you meet as well. When you walk into the Ostagar camp.
Yeah,
She's
she's
the
a
first
mage
person
at the
you meet,
camp.
yeah.
That's right.
So, I like her voice actor. I like her writing. I just think in such a horny, dark game, this really lovely older woman just sort of feels a bit out of place.
Yeah, this like nice grandma, this
Yeah.
matron. It doesn't quite fit.
No. And I'm not saying everything needs to be horny or dark or whatever.
Of course not.
It's just when you're playing the game and you're surrounded by this feel, sometimes she can come across as a bit out of place. But again,
You know what it is? Her job, her sort of job is to blend into the background.
yes,
And that's not really what you want.
she's the matron. She's like, she overlooks everybody.
Yeah.
I imagine her doing
She
everybody's
would be
laundry.
great if she was just an NPC in like who's the enchantment and his
yeah.
his dad
Bodan,
as like an
and,
Bodan.
Sandal.
Yeah.
Sandal.
If she was like an NPC who joins you as part of like your camp, she'd be, I think, a little bit better.
I think people thought for a long while that Sandal was the maker, which I thought was hilarious. Like Sandal was
So
just the maker.
it's like it's Tom Bombadil, but he's retarded.
Yeah. which I kind of like. Like I just part
It
of me,
is
I was
funny.
like, that's really funny. Like he just turns up and he's like enchantment and just explodes.
I
and
am the
all-
truth and the way.
starts handing out like runes. There you go.
Yeah.
But like, I think that's it. That's Dragon Age Origins, and I think
I think we got it.
we've covered every aspect of it, dude. Like I think that was epic. I think we've done everything.
Yeah.
There's not one part. I think maybe the ending scene. I mean, I got married to a Nora.
I mean, what I'm happy we talked about Dragon Age Origins, how things went wrong, but we didn't come out the other side blackpilling or
No.
like just bitching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's a really cool world with some really cool characters, and Origins is a really cool game.
Well, that's the thing. You can come out of it not blackpilling when you're talking about Origins.
Yeah.
Getting and 2 and 3, getting towards Veilguard, no. Like Veilguard is an abomination.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's like you see what it is from a mile away.
Yeah,
Why
they didn't
even
trick
subject
me.
yourself?
you know, they didn't
Yeah.
say here's another Origins, and then I knew I got it for free, so I thought I'm going to try it because
Nice.
I want to have an opinion on it, right?
Yeah.
And now I do, and it's a piece of shit, and it shouldn't be played by anybody. You know, put it this way, the writing is so good in Origins in that they tell you why you can't have horses. Right? The Battle of Ostagar, they all died. They were all eaten.
Yeah.
All the cavalry was there. Number one, Ferelden is a very heavy infantry-heavy nation. And number two,
Right.
they all died at Ostagar. In 2, you can't because you're in one city. And in 3, you can because, of course, you're the Inquisitor, you got a horse. And in Veilguard, fuck you. The way the characters look in Veilguard is insultingly bad. The fact that you could listen,
It's one of the worst examples of purposeful uglification of characters, which we know
Yeah.
has been going on for years now.
dude, you can make when people say you can stop making horrific characters because just for the memes, dude, I'm not. I'm trying to make a normal looking person, but like your
Challenge
creature's
impossible in that game.
so bad. Like
Yeah.
my Canary looks like he's got fucking Down syndrome. Like what is going on? Like I'm not, you know, and I get like the underscars for like. Did you know it has that? Like if you've removed your tits,
The top scars.
your top scars,
Yeah.
It's got that going on. And again, like if you want to find yourself in these video games, you know, okay, fine, but like. I'm not one of these guys who say that it shouldn't be there because it's a magical setting. Okay, fine, whatever.
I'll say it shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
This is not a good faith effort.
I'm trying.
This is aggressive. Yeah, this is.
I'm trying to throw
They're
you.
doing it to you.
Yeah, I'm trying to throw him a bone here. I'm trying to say, well,
Yeah.
you know, if you want to find yourself in this, that's fine.
You certainly can.
But
I think.
I have a sneaking
I think
feeling
the day is over.
what they're trying to do is put their foot in the door, so I can't close it. That's what I'm feeling, you know, and the writing, like, we've gone from a game in Origins where just so you can have sex with a demon, you can sacrifice a young child, to a game where you literally can't be nasty even to the bad guys. You can't even be nasty to them, right? You can't. You're. By the way, they kill off Varric. Sorry, guys. In the first 5 minutes of the game.
Oh, that's nice.
And then they
I can't stand Varric. I'm glad though.
But he's still there for the entire game.
Is he a ghost?
Yes. so you
yeah, man.
You don't get to sidestep Varric.
Yes.
And
this is a way for us to have Varric forever. We're gonna have Sandal imbue him into a ruby necklace,
Yes.
and he'll be there with you forever.
He's there the entire time.
Fortunately, BioWare will not make another Dragon Age game.
No.
Hopefully, they won't make another game.
Now, essentially, again, this is why we're ending with this. The Dragon Age setting ends at the end of Veilguard, essentially.
Okay.
Not everyone doesn't die. It's just there's a big world reset.
What is
event.
the ending of Veilguard? In as
so
briefly
basically
as you can put it, what happens?
You take down the Elven gods, you know, and all that sort of thing. Solus's whole shtick,
Do they all come back?
No, only the two come back, but they're trying to bring down the veil and do all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
You can either side with Solus. I think the ending of the game is actually quite reactive because you can make Solus either join your side or he can be totally evil, wanting to get rid of him. You know, it's actually quite reactive to what your choices you made throughout the game. And you shut them away forever in the void, you kill them off, they're gone. But it turns out that essentially there's been the war that happened to put that in place has shattered the world, essentially. And there's these characters called, I think they're called the Arbiters. They're revealed to have been behind everything.
Oh my god. There's an even more older, even more cosmic race of peoples.
This is why I was laughing when you said it before. I was trying not to say anything.
Oh my god, Dragon Age Arbiters.
So, I think they're called the Arbiters. You'll have to just...
Executors?
Executors, that's it. I've tried to forget this. Like, literally, I've tried to get it out of my brain, which is why it's a bit spotty.
Oh my god, those across the sea.
Yeah, they have been... Right from the word go... I'm talking from the Evernorus on. Even before that, they've been sort of, you know, tweaking things, and they're the big bad guys, and they've set them up as the big bad that's now on its way to basically crush the world. And I think they said they did it. They said in the next 10 years, Freldon's gone, Orlais is gone, everything's gone. Yeah.
Isn't that good? Don't you want to play our next game? Yay!
Do you like all?
Remember all these things?
Do you like all these things you like? Yeah. Well. Fuck
yeah,
you,
they're going away forever.
Mm-hmm.
For no reason.
I hope you like Top Scars.
Fuck you.
Yeah. That's who it is who's coming in.
I don't think they're going to make it. I think, I don't think BioWare is going to come out with Mass Effect.
I think they'll make Mass Effect. I think it's already in production, I think.
They've said they're making it.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, it's going to come out and it's going to bomb. I do not see how it is possible
I can't see it being
for them
any
to
good.
right the ship.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's no chance in hell.
And neither should they, Nick. Because this is not BioWare. Right?
It's not.
I don't wear this for them. I wear this for the Casey Hudsons, the guys back in the day, who Mark Daraz, all these other guys who wrote these awesome games. I wear it for them, right? Who are now,
I wear it for Commander Shepard.
I wear it for
what he did for the Citadel.
For kicking that dude out of the window in Mass Effect 2, right? How about
Yeah,
goodbye?
Thane's mission.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I rare it for, man. Ignoring Jack's trauma and just banging her anyway because you can. That's the kind of shepherd I wanna be.
Yeah,
dealing
man. Yeah.
with. But like that company doesn't exist anymore. It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. Hate to
those
say it,
people are
but
gone.
it is.
And they're all working at different companies and they're doing fine. You know, all these people are doing fine. They're making different games. You know, I think Hudson's doing the next Knights of the Old Republic.
The Star Wars
Yeah.
game, is that right?
Yeah, the Fate
Yeah.
of the Old Republic, whatever it is.
Somebody
fine.
said that game isn't supposed to come out until 2030.
Something like that. That
Which
was
is
the rumor.
hilarious.
I don't know why
Yeah.
they're revealing it now. I don't know. Well, you know, it's ridiculous, but
Just because.
just cause.
Please keep buying games. We promise something's coming. It's also going to be shit, but we promise anyway.
I don't know. A really good note to end on is that, you know, will we ever see a Dragon Age Origins again or anything like? I mean, I know people have said, well, you got Wrath of the Righteous Pathfinder, you've got Baldur's Gate. Those aren't the same kind of thing.
It's
Right.
not the
It's
same.
not the same. Like,
Um,
I want to see the Skybox. If I can't see the Skybox,
Yeah.
it's not the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know.
I think we will. You know, listen. Good ideas. It's not even good ideas. It's well implemented. Games or pieces of art that convey these things. The things that made Dragon Age Origins good, these things are eternal.
Mm-hmm.
They can't be stopped. They can't be erased. It's going to be a while, and it's not going to come from a AAA studio. But there are really good things coming out from AA developers or indie developers. You know, I don't know when we're going to see another game that really captures the imagination in the way that Dragon Age Origins does, but yes, there will of course be something like it or has a similar kind of magic in some way at some point, because it can only happen that way. These things are eternal. We remember them for a reason.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
nothing we can do to mitigate or change that in any way, shape, or form. And frankly, this is the thing that I say about tabletop games. You can still play Dragon Age Origins. And,
And
you know,
should.
especially if you've never played it before, it's... Okay, well now it's new to you. You know, it came out in 2009, but you're seeing it for the first time.
So lucky.
What difference does it make? You know.
I mean, Krasno just said a Warhammer Fantasy tabletop or RPG like Origins. I was like, yeah, now you're speaking my language. Now you
That would be
speak my
cool.
language. Yeah, I want to walk through Altdorf, man. That'd be awesome. I agree.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to say on that point. I agree. I think that you can't have a game that is this not formulaic, but like foundational to so many others, and not have somebody say, "Hey, please, developers, please stop trying to deviate from the formula."
Yeah.
A lot of you
And they
trying to
can't be
too
doing. They
clever.
can't do this forever.
No. A lot of them try to
You
be
know.
too clever and try to go, well, we're going to do a Dragon Age Origins, but... No. Lose the but. Have your own setting, all that, but just do this in a modern engine, this kind of a story, these kind of characters in a modern engine, and it will sell like...
It's the easiest thing. It's like I said way at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like there's so much money that's just on the
Yep.
table,
Your
lying
car-
out there.
Your car does not need square wheels. Just
Yeah.
give us the circle ones, we'll give us the round ones, we'll buy them. You know, you don't need to
100%.
reinvent it. We'll have fun. But that is it. We're done. So
This is fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
this is
like-
awesome.
Yeah, dude. Like, I will talk to you about it off stream, but like if we can do like a regular thing, like once a month or whatever. I had the
Sure.
I had the title Transatlantic Bitching in my head.
That's
TAB.
funny.
So
I like
let's
that.
look into that. I don't know what we do for the next subject. It'll probably be.
Oh, there's stuff we can talk
Dude,
about.
there's so much. Like the D&D could be a thing. Critical Roles come up in the chat several times.
D&D, Critical Role. We could talk about wrestling. I know you're going to be talking about wrestling as it
wrestling-
pertains to 40k.
Wrestling is an absolute. How wrestling relates to stories in general would be a really good one.
Yes. Yes.
Leave that with me. But anyway, thanks for joining us, folks.